All right, we are live again, finally, only 17 minutes late this morning.
That's barely late at all.
No, especially because we got lots of good things done. We're much more prepared today.
Oh yeah. Stream is all grown up.
We have learned a lot in the last 24 hours. So how is everybody today?
Marks Murphy's awake late, hanging out with us.
The Aussies are in the house.
Or early, I can never keep track of that.
It would be late because they're like, if it's 9 o'clock here or 10 o'clock, it's like 10 or 11 o'clock there.
Okay.
Right? What time is it where you're at, Sparks? I need to grab my tea. I must be hydrated today. Humidity is up a little today.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that. Oh, it's at 12:48 a.m.
12:48 a.m.
Yes, so like 15-hour difference.
Ouch.
Good morning, Gunner Fox. All right, I've been running up and down stairs, so I got to cool off a little bit. Trying to be prepared.
Mr. War Master, I believe.
All righty. Someday we will have a proper studio. I have faith. We can hope. So much crap. Okay, so James beat me. So it came down to a bad turn for me. I needed to kill somebody and I didn't do it.
Turns out standing behind cover is a thing.
Yeah, not moving out in the middle of the open.
Yeah.
But if I'd rolled just a little better, I think it would have been a little different.
Yeah. That guy's reinforced too, so
yeah,
it was going to take a while to pound him down. Yep, look at the dice, like always.
We are bloody limbing. Speaking of, when you take over at 2 o'clock for your sculpting thing, I think I need to resend you the code, the key, because we had to make a couple of changes to the account. Yes, I think you're going to need a new key. So, but I'll do that before 2 o'clock here in just a little bit. So just keep that in mind as you're getting ready. You are earning channel points now, by the way. We will be having our giveaway today, each hour. We got that straightened out. Correct. While we were streaming, so I had to end the stream, and it was relatively an easy fix, at least to get to where we needed to be today. We still have some things to do. Down the road, we're going to build some custom emotes. James is cleaning up a pillager.
Yes. I'm going to paint this this pillager up. At least I'm going to try. I'm going to try and paint this pillager up in sort of the nebula pattern. I've got a small Malvernus force I built for myself to play with our local group in Tulsa. And in it, it's basically just black and purple, really dark everywhere, except on like the upper carapace. What I've done then is I've come in with the airbrush and painted sort of a nebula pattern. I'm going to try and do that today if I can get far enough along onto the top part of this pillager right here. We'll see. John's airbrushes are good, but you know, I'm used to mine. I probably should have brought mine.
Right.
No, it's nothing wrong with yours. I just, you know, it's like a glove, right?
Yeah.
Any glove works, but the one you play ball with is the one you want.
Let's talk about your hands and gloves. Let's pass on that for right now.
Okay.
So anyway, hey, fall off the chair here. Too much stuff already. It is a typical John Walker CAV-Boss work environment. I have got it filled up with stuff quick. So for today, we are going to kind of talk and answer questions here for a little bit, for about the next hour or so. We are going to start a new game at 12 o'clock Central Time, so about in an hour and a half. We have 3,000 point forces.
Smidgen
Yes,
more.
Smidgen, 3,008.
Yeah, yours is 3,008. Mine's like 229.50
Yeah.
or 6.
Around 3,000 points, pretty
Yeah.
close. We had to kick it up 8 for me because of just the way everything fell. It was either go over 8 or give up 300. So, so then we will play until 2 o'clock, when Chris will take over from 2 to 4 for his sculpting show, which I understand he's working on an all new figure today. I don't even know what he's working on, so we'll all be surprised. Then we will come back on at 4 o'clock and finish up our game. And then,
If we're not finished.
if we're not already
Yeah, I mean,
finished,
you never know. The dice
we
could say you're done.
we could be done.
Yeah.
Well, yes and no. I got them all painted. I did not finish the cockpits and the bases and put on decals. I was going to kind of be more available this morning to talk and answer questions after the game this afternoon when we're, excuse me, looking for something to do. I may work on them a little bit more, or I may start painting something new or build some terrain or something. We'll leave it up to you guys to figure out what we're going to do for the rest of the afternoon. First, we could be running circles on the game board and still going. But our plan is we're going to try to be done by 8 o'clock tonight, so that we can get a good evening in to do a couple of things and then be ready to go again 10 o'clock Sunday morning. So let's talk CAV stuff. We'll do a giveaway here in a little bit for our first hour. Let's see. So we got 10 hours today to give stuff away. Good morning, Tiger.
Hello, Mr. Tiger Raid. Thanks for all the help during the game yesterday. You pointed out a couple of things we overlooked. Very, very, very well done. Get Tiger Raid the referee hat.
We had a bit of a conversation about that last night and this morning, in case anybody feels that I'm a little rusty, because I am. I don't play. The worst thing about gaming, if you don't want to game anymore, is to own a game company. We've been so busy with so many projects and stuff like that, and then without convention season, which is where I really catch up on my gaming during the summer. So bear with me, because sometimes I have to stop and think and get back into the flow. Yes. Yeah, and as we've made changes and stuff, and or we've talked about things maybe we want to do in the future. Gunnar, what was do you remember what the discussion on the strike point was? Whatever it was, we resolved it.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember about strike point.
The only thing I could think of is when you were behind the blocking cover, maybe.
Oh yeah, that was probably it right there.
Right.
Yeah.
What in the new the last version of the errata, we made blocking cover the way that cover works. So if you are up about simplifying the roll. Well, we were just talking about the rolling, going ahead and roll before you figure out the numbers, because if you roll a 10, 11, or 12,
Yeah.
it's an automatic, so you don't have to figure numbers. And that's how I got ahead of myself and was figuring numbers.
Yeah.
When I could just make the roll.
Just drop the dice.
Yeah. Right. But as far as I think what we got to talking about that James hadn't seen yet was that we made cover count for indirect fire if you are within 1 inch of that cover. So if you are behind up against a level 3, while I can still target the area that model is standing in, I cannot damage that model because it has blocking cover. If it was a level 2, he would have heavy cover, and level 1, he would have light cover that's applied to the combat roll. Does that make better sense now?
I mean, I understand about it objectively. I guess the question I would have is, you target this model and the strike point deviates behind me, I'm in its area of effect.
You cannot be damaged.
So I cannot.
No.
Okay.
It is not affecting the area that you are targeting. It is affecting the damage.
Okay.
So what we are taking into account is if it crosses that direction, yes, the rockets were on target, but they hit the cover rather than hitting you.
So line of sight's got to, from the firing model to the targeting model, has to come through the cover.
The line would be, well, it's not really line of sight. It would be, I guess we call it that, but it's the line of targeting.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it's not, I guess it's still line of sight and you just can't see.
I mean, mechanically, it's the same thing as line of sight.
Right. Well, I just didn't want, I didn't want to confuse anybody by saying line of sight. So, but that's it. But that's what it is. What else? What other little things came up that we?
So I completely didn't understand critical successes.
We did have the critical success issue come up that we discussed a little bit. For Blaster, you do not have to have a successful to hit roll to not receive the critical success roll. So in that case, I think I needed
you needed a 12 to hit me.
Right, and I rolled a
10.
So that with Blaster 2, that gives me my critical success, which allows me to go ahead and roll the D6 and get the additional number.
Yes.
So FYI, if you are successful with the SA, you still get to add that, and that may get you up above or it may not get you above. I mean, if you, in that case, would be,
yeah. So
let's say I rolled a 1.
Yeah, you would have missed still.
That's a miss.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And what else? That was pretty. We talked about this after the stream last night. We should have took notes.
Yeah, you're right. But it was late. Somebody was tired.
Yeah, I was tired.
I think that was really all of it. There was some minutia about double time that changed from the last time I had played.
Right. Double time and run and gun. In order to use those, you cannot make multiple turns.
I don't think the thing with run and gun came up last.
Yeah, because I think the one time you ran a gun at first, it was a straight run or whatever. Or you decided not to do it
to make sure, because the hammer did do a run and gun at least once at the very beginning.
Well, it just so happens,
and I know he turned once,
that I have.
You brought the rules?
I brought the errata.
Okay.
So that I could be successful on explaining, so that I didn't say something that I didn't mean, which I would never do that.
So Bloody Lemming, there was a time where I just moved and shot in the middle of my move. It was not a run and gun, but I did do a run and gun, I'm pretty sure, with a hammer. late in the game when oh yeah, we talked about the intention, you know, the declarations. We need to talk about that too.
Yes. We had to talk about that. We will go. Run and gun here. Earlier, should have highlighted as I. But basically, what it works out, because I mean I know what it is if I look at it a little bit. If you declare a run and gun, or if you want to get your double time bonus,
Right.
you are allowed your one free turn. Which in the case of run and gun, you would get 2 because it's a double move. But any additional turns after that cause you to lose that ability. You won't get your.
Trying to understand how that works in terms of running.
Yeah, that's what I was. Let me get back to the combat part. I was going to 3-hole punch this, but I didn't want to have to fight around the. Okay, so under errata, on page 58, the combat action run and gun. Per the errata, while similar to combining a combat action and a move action, which is what you did with the one model when you moved forward and moved back, the run and gun sacrifices maneuverability and accuracy for speed, combining 2 move actions with a ranged assault combat action. A model using run and gun reduces their overall movement by 2 and any combat or strike point rolls by 1 for each weapon used as part of an attack, which assault would clear some of that or all of it, depending on what you do. After declaring a run and gun, the model must move its full movement points, moving forward only. The model is allowed 1 free facing change as part of this move, but any additional turns are prohibited.
You can take the facing change at any point.
One time, at any point, yes. But even though it's a combination of 2, you only get the 1. Yes, so that was the only deal. So, and then if your model has a movement value of 4 or less, you subtract 1 before you double the movement. Because if you don't, you just end up with 4 again.
Right.
Correct. You cannot take a turn that costs movement to use double time. So you have to make sure that if you choose to use run and gun and or double time, you need to have a straight run or be able to at least make the 1 turn. If you for double time, if you end up doing that, you don't get your double time movement. If you do that, if you end up moving in run and gun and you run out of points or you have to make the additional turn, you're done. You go ahead and finish your move, but you lose your attack. So you can't complete the action. Would be
okay. So during double time, if I move twice, do I get 2 free turns, or does only 1?
Well, you only have to complete 1 action.
Oh, as soon as I do the first one, I qualify.
Yeah, as soon as you're good, you're for run. You got run and gun.
Okay, so no, I'm talking about double time.
I mean double time.
All right,
sorry.
so hypothetically,
so we're going back and forth.
my model, 1 turn, moves its full movement, qualifies for a double time, and then with its second movement, it can wiggle around?
No.
Okay.
Yes, because that came up, and I remember that now. Sorry. The action you have, the last action you complete as a movement is what qualifies you as double time. So if you used your first one to turn, move, swiggle around, whatever you wanted to do, you don't have your double time yet. Okay. The second time you move, you have to meet the requirements to be a double time. So that's when you have to do that if you're combining or doing 2.
Okay.
The last action the last move action you perform is what qualifies you for double time.
Gotcha. So if that happens to be the first thing you do, that's still your last movement action.
Right. Yeah. Yes, that's congruent with being out of range of declared weapons. You lose that attack. Correct.
And then we need to talk about the.
Yeah, because what happens is, let's say you declare run and gun, and you move straight. Let's say you have a total of 10 movement points, and you move straight. You turn and use your free turn, and then move 9, and then or let's say you move 8, and then you make a second turn. At that point, when you make that second turn, you are done. No more moving, no more shooting, because you're not in run and gun anymore. So that's where the kill. As soon as you lose it, you're done. With double time, if you do it, you can complete your movement, but you just don't get the double time qualifier. In the end,
When you said during run and gun, you have to use your full movement. I can't. Let's say hypothetically, my run and gun movement is 8 inches. I can't move 7 inches, stop and shoot.
Yeah, after declaring a run and gun, the model must move its full movement value, moving forward only. Yeah, so you couldn't have a movement of 10, move 6, and then shoot, and then decide you didn't want to move any further. You have to, at some point, you have to finish the move. You can, during the run and gun, you can do the attack at any point in the movement.
So if there was a narrow gap between buildings, I could dart across it with run and gun.
Yes.
Shoot while the line of sight was there.
Right. That's where it ties into kind of the combat action move, like you did with the thing. So, yeah, those work out really good in the city, and the way that you get around that is Overwatch. Yep. Or you could do defensive fire, but that would be you give up a lot for defensive fire.
Right.
And then okay, so what was the other one?
So the other one was right at the very end of the game where I was trying to kill the duelist, and I declared all that move and shoot against the duelist.
About the movement.
And
okay.
then once he died,
right.
What am I required to do to satisfy my declaration?
Right. What came up last night was he had 3 models that he declared movements and attacks all on the same model. The first 2 models killed the duelist. So the third model had declared a move and an attack. And what James did is he turned around and ran around the backside of the hill. Okay. Again, by rules, that's not a legal move because he had declared the move and the attack. So by me dying before he got the done, he actually changed what he wanted to do. So what the requirement is, and we'll add this as an FAQ into the deal, is he would have to go out and move until the point that he was able to satisfy the firing
Right,
requirement.
could have taken a shot.
Right, and be legal for the shot. And then at that point, he can move wherever he wants to.
Maybe you should talk about not having to declare the specifics of your move.
Right, you don't have to, and that's just going to be, this is a little bit of a gray area that we'll explain better in the FAQ, because there are a multitude of situations that trying to do an example
Right.
that covers everything would take a book in and of itself.
Yeah.
So the requirement would be is he has to move to a point where he could successfully shoot, and he'll lose the shooting action no matter what.
Right.
But as far as the move action, he has to move in a direction that would allow him to make the legal attack.
Right.
Once he meets that criteria, he can move anywhere he wants to move.
And And so in last night's game, my intention, assuming the duelist hadn't died, was I was going to move out like almost my entire movement to get a good clear line of sight to him and take a shot. But once he died, what I did was I just turned around and went the other direction, which turns out I shouldn't have done.
Well, here, and this is where I messed up because I let
You let me do
when
it.
when we play games
It's
like
a casual
this,
game.
right? I don't get, but since it came up, and if it was to happen in a tournament or you're playing a more of a pickup game with people you didn't know, you could get the guy that gets really crazy over it. We don't know none of those people, right?
Not at all. So the point that I'm trying to make is this, right? So clearly my original intention was to move about 8 inches out and take a shot. I could have taken a shot, excuse me, tooken's not a word, taken a shot after having moved 4 inches, but it wasn't the best shot in the world. And so my intention before the duelist died was to move about 7 inches and take a shot. Once the duelist died, or if I understand the rules properly, I can then only move the 4 where I first gain the valid line of sight. Okay, I've satisfied my intention to take a shot, even though it was originally my intention to move those extra 3 inches and get a better shot. I can stop at 4, say, look, I've satisfied that line of sight requirement. Now I'm going to conserve those 3 inches and make a move that's important for me.
Right.
So I don't have to tell my opponent I'm going to move 7 inches to this spot right here and take a shot. I just have to say I'm going to move to the point where I have a shot and take it, and then I can use the fact the duelist died as information to adjust my movement. Stop at the closer spot, turn around, and come back.
Yeah. And lose the attack.
Yeah, obviously I lose the attack as soon as the duelist
because we're
dies.
not going to get into the point where he's talking about where you need to declare where you move into, because you're talking about another whole level of time to try to cover something that happens once or twice a game. There's just no reason to do it all the time. I mean, if you are playing people like that or you're a person like that in your game, you're more than welcome to do that. Again, you can track ammo, you can do individual weapons, you can do whatever you want to do. But for the sake of generic play, we're not going to get into that.
Let's talk about how the new models performed a little bit.
And Ty, you're correct, Tiger. On other games, a lot of it's by model, whereas here it's by squad. And all you have to do to meet the declaring requirement is just declare the actions. I'm going to move, I'm going to shoot. I'm going to target lock, I'm going to move. You know, other than like a target lock that you have to actually target lock an individual
you have to say
model.
which model you're going after.
It's not going to matter. So.
Well, you have to announce the attacks too. I'm attacking the duelist.
Well, yes,
Okay.
You don't have to tell what you're going to shoot or whatever.
So another thing that came up that I found I've apparently played incorrectly in the past was the fact that once I make those declarations, all the actions happen simultaneously. So in the past, we've worried about, let me back up and set the example. Okay, so I've got a unit with EST, or a model with EST in a unit, and I want to target lock and share that target lock across all my models in the unit. In the past, I've been under the impression that once I make those declarations, I need to activate the EST unit first to turn that ability on so the other people could benefit from it. The idea being, let's say I forget to do that, and I activate my hammer, he moves, there's no target lock at that point in time, he doesn't get to turn on his targeting computer. That's the way I thought it worked. But it turns out that's not true.
Well, but that's what the declarations cover.
Right.
By everybody, you declaring what everybody does before you actually start doing stuff. You have done that. Everybody did that at the same time, and it's all working.
And I think the reason why I got that in my head wrong is when I first learned the game, we were playing with very low model counts, and so we were doing individual model activations. Yeah. And so at that point in time, of course, it is important.
It is. You're right.
You know, I've got to activate the EST guy first, and I think that rule got stuck in my head. Yeah. And when we went back to squad activations, I forgot to rethink that.
Yes. Yeah. That I could see where that would cause confusion there. But yeah. Other than that, what did you think of the Cobras and King Cobras?
They're fast. I like that. Fast. The King Cobras are surprisingly beefy. I mean, they actually hit pretty hard.
Yeah. They're kind of like the Ritter's Catamount. it's a recon model, but it's a heavy DT model,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it kind of gets the
Got a lot of damage
benefits of
traps.
the taking
Right.
the damage, and with the amount of weapons they have, they can be ugly.
I think they're very playable. I don't have enough experience knowing how to leverage them.
Right. You're right, Tiger. I mean, as far as an all squad game as opposed to individual, and that's the reason why, as far as the going forward, that's the way we are going to officially approach every game that we're a part of. Is we are going to always do it by squad, just so that we're not like in this situation teaching it one way. You know, you can do it however you want to do it individually. I mean, it works. I mean, even up to the point, I mean, if you had 36 models to a side, you could do that if you had enough cards to go in that deal. But as far as how we're going to teach it going forward, as it is in the book, it's squad activations. A lot of the essays and some of the upgrades and stuff depend on squad activation. So, you know, it makes an important deal. It's like recon units kicking a card. You know, if you only kick a card for one model, you really have gutted that ability, as opposed to if you kick the whole squad and he lost the whole movement for a squad till later. That's big. That makes it worth doing. About one of the new models I used was the Warhawk. It hit. Yeah.
That heavy max.
Yes.
Yeah.
Heavy max and guided missiles.
Yeah,
the guided missiles are a little on the light end, but with tag, they're
you're firing them every turn.
A little snack pack thrown in. Yeah. So
the only downside of that is you can't salvo the max.
You can't salvo.
You rarely want to do that.
Now, and that's something else that came up based on the deal or whatever, is when you are deciding to salvo or you're wanting to use smart or something that is going to change what you're doing, when it's your time to go and you have already declared the attack and you get to that model and you activate, before you start measuring and figuring everything, you have to declare salvo, smart, and everything like that. Because again, that's a situation where when you start measuring, you could and figure out your numbers. Oh, I don't want to do that now, or I am going to do that.
Yeah.
So need to get into the practice of that.
Yeah.
Is when it's time to go, before you start measuring, before you start figuring numbers, you need to declare salvo, you need to declare smart.
Yeah.
I think that's really the only one come into it, possibly.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can think.
Right, and we actually, the little snack pack, it actually, the snack pack always applied to rockets, rockets 5 in our game. It actually came from that other game, from when I used to play that with the LRM 5s, but yeah, overdrive would be another one. Yeah, you would declare overdrive before you started measuring. So anyway, so that's where the original snack pack came from. I mean, I don't know that I heard it from anybody, so I'll at least claim it, but that's an old term for that. So it doesn't really apply to missiles, but you can. And we actually, Tyler, we were talking about the new deck this morning, and when I was describing it, I actually left out one of the deals. So in the example that I gave James when we were talking about it this morning, yeah, fun size missile packs for sure. Snack pack. Each side automatically gets an event card, and we may go into those later, but that's what they fall under as an event card. Each side gets one event card. No matter how many squads you have, everybody gets one event card. You get a movement card, your normal card like you get for your initiative deck for each squad. And then each squad gets to pull a tactical card. So what will actually happen, the smallest deck you will have going forward is 6 cards. which I think is a decent number to have to shuffle, move around, however you want to do it. So, so that's going forward with the new initiative deck. That will be the minimum going forward. You'll never see a deck smaller than 6 cards. Now, if you had 2 squads on each side, that would add an additional 4 cards to the deck. So it's 2 squad versus 2 squad would have 10 cards. They would each get the 1 event card, then 2 cards for the move and 2 cards for the tactical.
And so those event cards could potentially come up multiple times a game. In the game,
yes. Yeah.
I mean, you could hypothetically, let me back up and ask this question. I think the way you described it is you randomly add an event card from whatever pool of event cards you have.
Well, yes and no, because after our little discussion and going back to original concept on the deal, the event card will be a generic card. Okay. So when the event card comes up, it'll have a little chart on the card of like 6 things that can happen. You'll roll a d6, and that's the event for that turn. So yes, the event card is the same, but the event may be different for each of you, depending on the roll. To add a little generic to it without having to put 6 event cards. Because if you had the same kind of event and it happened 3 times in the game, depending on what the events end up, it could be kind of funny for you.
Yeah, it could leverage well for one player and not the other.
Everything happens to the squad that's activated. So that might have, depending on what, either the event or the tactical card, that may force you to choose a different squad than you were going to choose, because if it's, if it's like a tactical card where you get an extra objective point or something if you kill a model, your activation, and you got nobody, the squad that's in the front that has the best chance to kill somebody, but you were going to do your fire support instead, that may change your mind. So again, a little fog of war, a little randomness. But everything is done by the end of that activation. There's nothing that's going to carry over from activation to activate, because we don't want you to track anything. It's you draw the card, that indicates it's your turn to move, and then you can do whatever the card says or what the tactical card gives you, or just the plain movement. And then when you're done activating, it's done. It's over with. Card goes to the bottom of the deck.
So
if no squad is activated, a squad is always activated because you choose your squad. The event card, like in the new deck, we'll have red and black. So when you build your decks, there'll be a red event card and a black event card in there. And so when the red event card is drawn, then red side goes and does the event if it's a black card. So a squad is always activated. And it's come up and been asked, recon being able to move a card to the bottom of the deck affects the event and the tactical cards the same way.
So all cards are, whatever the right word is for, like, currently whatever that card is, the activation.
Right, the color. Right. Whatever the color is will always indicate that there is a squad on that side that has to activate.
So every card in the upcoming deck is an activation card.
Yes.
Some of them are also events or tactics or whatever else.
Yeah, correct. Correct. Well, the whole deck is the initiative deck. So the event cards are also activation cards, and they just go into your normal. And it may be something you can't do. If it's an event that you're not in a position to take advantage of or whatever, you still move and activate your squad, but you may not get the benefits of it.
So hypothetically,
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, hey, Gimli. I'm playing, I have a recon squad. I draw non-event card, just a plain Jane activation card.
Right.
Can I, in the hopes of getting an event card, send my own card to the bottom of the deck?
Yes.
Run the risk of drawing?
Run the risk of either you may get your card or you may give the other side the card. Right.
Yeah, the activation.
Yeah, just like normal recon. Recon can send either side card to the bottom.
Gunner is asking about 2 different decks.
No, there are not 2 different decks. Well, other than the fact that the one whole solid deck has the same cards in red and black. And then you will draw out those cards to make the single deck, just like you do with normal initiative.
Are you going to mention?
Yeah. That's good. Does that make sense now? Gotcha. Okay, good. Thank you for staying with me there. God bless you. I never, every time I ever said, the first thing I hear is Robin Williams' voice. And,
Yeah.
Thank you for staying in your.
I'm missing.
But one of the things too that'll be cool about the deck is in the future we can release additional cards. So we can put out cards as a new little tactical deck or something like that. Or we can also put in unique cards that go with, if you come to CAV-CON next year and you order and you get the special mini, inside the package will be a special card that you can add to the deck. So we're still working out how all that'll work, but there's a lot of really cool things that we can do. Because you had a couple ideas, what you were thinking.
So I was thinking it would be neat to have a little mini faction.
Yes, faction cards. That's what I remember. Yeah.
So you could order the Almirithil deck and get a bunch of Almirithil themed event cards.
Yep.
They would still apply the the background or whatever flavor text would talk about some piece of Almirithil history.
So it makes faction doctrine important again too, with that in that element. Not besides the extra things that you get as a force. If you're an all Amethyl force, you can draw all your stuff from from faction deck.
You can include the Almirithil events.
Yes. Yeah.
I just got to come up with enough ideas for all the factions. Oh,
I'm sure we'll be all right there. We are a idea fountain, a fountain of ideas for ideas, right? But and the cool thing too is all the cards will have individual art. I mean, I hate to say this, and everybody thinks this is what it's going to be, because it's not a card game, but the cards will have images that go along with it in the description for the ones that need it. Kind of like for a card game, like a Magic or something like that. So it won't actually have points or something like that, but there's no telling what we might do with them, because we can throw all kinds of random events. Like I said, if you can put little tables on them, D6 rolls or something that takes 5 seconds to do, but makes that card different every time it comes up. Yeah, Squatty stabs the bat. Yes, the faction doctrines are all being revised and will come out in the rules of engagement, the campaign book, because they're going to be tiered. So and this is subject to change as we go, but each faction will have 5 tiers of abilities, and each are of faction doctrines, and each of them have a point value. So tier 1, if it has 3 levels, the first one may cost 1 point, the next one is 3 points, the third one is 5 points. So at each level it gets better. So if you have something that's a +1 at the first level, the next one may be +2, the last one's +3. And during the campaign, you will earn faction points if you're working on factions that you can use to buy those tiers. And you don't have to stay in the same tier. So if you get 3 points, you could buy 3 of the tiers at level 1, okay? Or if you wanted to save up the points and get all the way to 3, but you have to buy that level before. So to actually get to level 3 right off the bat, you would have to spend 9 points. The 1, the 3, and the 5. So that will allow you in the campaign, that will give you tiers to work for. So you will have basically 15 different boxes that you would need to complete to get the top 5 of the top ones of all 5. Okay. For the tournament games, when we do faction doctrines or whatever, that will become an assignment. We'll say it's a 5-point faction doctrine game, and you can assign those to your tiers and go from there, or just say it's 1 point or whatever, depending on how long you want to play and what extra you want to add to it. So it keeps kind of what we've got as far as the way you get it, but it gives you something to build on in the campaign and change up a tournament game a little.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's a tech tree mechanic. Matter of fact, I don't remember. It was when we were talking the other night. If you've played any of the MMO games, Warcraft, stuff like that, the Star Wars Republic and stuff that had that kind of mechanic, that's basically what it is. You know, for a campaign game, you know, I don't have a problem with getting more stuff because the way you're building and the way you're going, it is what it is. Generally, if you're sitting around playing campaign games, you have the foresight to realize that they're not going to go as fast as a pick up, meet in the middle, and let's kill each other kind of game. And it may be that some of the tiers don't have an effect on the exact game thing, especially in the campaign. One tier may give you repair bonuses or something like that. So look at that, how fancy we're getting. See, we got all the cool things working. Tiger race lucky day.
Yep.
So anyway, so hey, we need to do a giveaway because we're at 11 o'clock, so we missed our first hour.
How about giving me that super glue while you're giving away?
You want some super glue?
I need my pillager is not going to stay together without.
We're gonna have to find you a round base.
I will make one.
I think I've still got some big washers down there.
That sounds good.
We can double check. Okay, so our first giveaway this morning is going to be a broadsword T-shirt.
I thought he was going to say drop ship. I was like, let me.
Okay. And it's going to be the full pack. So you're going to get the T-shirt, the patch, the sticker,
Yeah.
and the dog tag.
Nice.
All four on the deal.
Very nice.
So what you need to do is type in #Templar.
Templar.
Yes, #Templar. We'll give a few minutes for everybody to put that in there, and then we will have it select a winner. It is not case sensitive, by the way, so if you end up doing something crazy, don't worry about it.
Purdue.
Our friend Moobot.
Yeah.
Moobot will do the selection.
Absolutely.
Yes, #Templar. Yes, I need the keyboard. That might help.
And you can win multiple times in a day, right?
Yep. Yeah, if you win, we'll package everybody together and go from there. I need to get me a little tiny mini keyboard or something.
Yeah. Probably a good idea.
All right, let's see here. So we are going to figure out. All right, you're going to create.
Templar.
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 Templar Pros. Okay. This is where we need our little tech to help us out.
Yeah. Yippers, yippers.
All right, we already said this, but now you know. For anybody that is just reading and maybe has their sound turned off, I'll give them a chance to type that in there. If you've already put it in there, don't worry, you're already entered.
Hashtag Templar.
Yep, hashtag Templar. Oh wow, I was saying number sign. I guess I'm not
Because you're old.
old.
Which is funny because I'm older than you.
I do get at sign now.
Yeah.
I do meet people that when they look at you, what do you mean by at sign? You know, the A with the circle in it? Oh, okay.
Ampersand. You probably talking about going to do that.
Yes. Well, that's now that we've gone up and been able to add everything to it, we're going to start working on some custom emotes. So we'll have definitely faction stickers, I guess.
You can show your loyalty, basically.
Yes. You can show your loyalty. We'll have some special ones to give away. Channel points will allow some stuff. Don't spend your channel points yet until we have everything added, because you should be getting points now, and then we'll as we go in and change things, we'll add to that. So
I have 712 channel points.
Already. Wow.
I'm the big dog.
Okay, so we are done. We have closed.
Timpani.
We are going to now find out who the winner is.
No more valid entrance could be done.
Oops. Maybe I guess we have to actually. They have to do it afterwards. I guess then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So we are going to unlock it. All right. I need you to all put in Templar again. Hashtag Templar. I'm sorry. The idiot is in the house. Yay. There it's working right now.
There we go.
All right, Trudeau, Gimli. Nope, Trudeau's in. Gimli, we're still waiting for Gimli to come back. We got O'Rourke.
O'Rourke.
O'Rourke. Gimli. Gimli. We'll wait a couple of minutes. Not like it's going anywhere.
If Gimli doesn't show back up, I can enter, and then you can just, if I win, you can give it to Gimli.
That's true.
You do that just.
Well, just wait. We wait just.
But I'll start the thing. Did you set a timer, or is it manually?
It's manually for me to close.
Joe, if you want me to enter for Gimli.
And even if you don't play CAV, you maybe it's a really cool shirt.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Maybe you give it to a friend that does play CAV. Maybe you put it on eBay.
Let's start over. If you don't play CAV and you're in this channel, start playing CAV.
Correct. This will be that should definitely get you started.
Yeah. There's an idea.
No, I've got to work in the RPG stuff. The only thing with the RPG stuff is it really needs people in that area, or it's only good at their store because they don't sell. Oh, there he is. There he's in. I think that was everybody. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay.
I'm sure MoveBot will tell you that.
All right. We are going to lock it. And now we're ready to roll. Maybe. Woo! There we go. Gunner Fox 21. And all you need to do, Gunner Fox, is type in exclamation mark claim. I think it tells you how to do it if you get a message, but Just type in exclamation mark claim, and that should take care of it. I know. Now you win. Now you have another shirt. There you go. All right. Yay!
You did.
We got it to work.
Absolutely.
Not the one we were using yesterday. So
This guy is rife for arm swap.
yeah.
It's got that simple hex pattern. I feel like you could adopt a lot of different arms in it.
Yes. Well, and that's the reason we moved to that, is that hex allows you to change everything and go.
I mean, even for the old weapons that aren't hexes, you can still
Yep.
easily.
So we'll have another giveaway here in a little bit, and we're down to the 45-minute countdown to the start of the game.
45 minutes.
Yep. Are you building the board?
Oh, I do it.
I
That's not the setup right there.
that's not.
Really dense terrain.
Whoa, we're all playing. We might ought to come in from the sides.
Yeah, seriously.
I figured I did put the drop ship back in the corner. I figured I'm Templar and coming from that side. So be a little add-on there.
Are you saying you don't want to play from that end down there?
No, play on the whole thing. I just was going to set the broadsword on my end for
decoration.
Decoration.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So while Mr. Mad Dog works on setting up the board or finishing the setup, but we'll still come from long end to long.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out where the camera's going to see it best.
Okay. Oh, so you're going to make me play from this end? Everybody can see my lovely backside.
So somebody observed yesterday that all they saw of my models was their backs.
That's true.
I did FaceTime too. Is this your list? Cheater.
Could be.
This is going to be fun. I like this. This is my favorite CAV-CON board for me.
Well, that's a new mat, by the way.
The mat.
I got a new mat in that I thought I liked a lot better.
Do you have anybody you recommend for those?
Those are I think FPG Frontline Gaming.
Frontline
I think
Gaming,
is
yeah. Those are the
is from. Yeah. Or is it still Frontline Gaming?
No, it's still Frontline Gaming.
Because the guy that does them had some agreement with another company that used to sell them here out of California. And I think they went their separate ways, and then the California guys still do their version now, but the other guy is who this is. So, but he did all the original the green mats that we use at the tournament and everything. But I like the look of them. So what else can we talk about while James is getting the board set up? We have 44 minutes till we kick off the game. Hopefully I will do the Templars a little better than I did them last night.
You played fun. Honestly, thank you. You could have won it.
Well, new model releases. That we obviously, with all the COVID and everything, that really got in the way. As we've talked about a little bit in the past, we're looking at new production methods, and we are actually looking at moving in our own plastic production in-house. We're hoping to have better answers here by the end of the month on that. We're dealing with 2 or 3 different entities here, and unfortunately they're never on the same schedule that I want to be on. But right now we're filling in, I think a lot of the new releases are a bunch of the Amethyl stuff. The Hound, the Gremlin, the Armada,
Hound?
Yeah, the Hound, the Armada, the Gremlin, and the Cossack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gosh, how set is.
That we put up some pictures on the Facebook. Yes, you have heard us talk about doing an RPG. It is something that we are doing some preliminary thinking and talking about. Again, one of the comments that I made earlier is I don't want a RPG of playing in the cockpit of your CAV. So as we work out some different ideas, that's what we're going to be looking at. It's not saying that there won't be times that you need to be in a CAV or a tank or something, but it'll be the exception as opposed to the rule. Gotta walk the dog. We'll be back. There's a song there, I'm sure. Better not that I would sing it. But I would like to do a CAV card game. I don't know that we ever will, but it would be something to go. Yeah, no, I think that if you approach it from the story line in that direction and just make sure, people going in understand that it's not a RPG version of the CAV miniatures game, that's the direction it needs to go in. I think that you could have some of it as far as, special ops or recon or something going in before a mission to take out something or whatever. But, I think that there would be opportunities to play security forces, corporation things. I think you could get even kind of a cyberpunk vibe with some of the stuff. Can you go over how AA works? The guns point to the sky, they shoot down the plane crashes. What else?
In my experience, that's not true.
I think James is building Grand Canyon.
Absolutely. You're the one that put all this terrain out here.
That's fine. I'm use it all. I saw you putting stuff on the shelf over there. I didn't go for
Here, there we go.
Oh. So, like I said, we are going to play from noon until 2 when Chris takes over. And then we will pick back up at 4 o'clock and finish it up. So that way everybody can kind of plan their schedule around that. Chris, when you get a chance, would you text me the email address that you're using for the account so I can send you that re-invite, please? Want you to be able to set up before you. I got you a little skeleton to work in over here though.
Okay.
I had to glue him. After all the years, I finally dropped one and broke it. I fixed him.
2 or 3 of these guys are different. 2 or 3 of these guys
Yeah.
are different. Pretty cool.
Do you know where I got those
I
from?
have no idea.
A Hallmark
Really?
in up by Fort Wayne. Isn't that crazy?
They're fantastic.
Everybody always, I don't know how they got them. I've never seen them anywhere. I haven't never seen them on something else, but it just, of all places to find little dinosaur skeletons, is that a Hallmark? We'll probably play later in the day tomorrow, Sparks. So if that works out better with your schedule. So, because if was 1 o'clock, so 7 hours, I'd put it around 5 o'clock our time would at least get you up in the morning at a more decent time. I hear you about the caffeine though. That's my getting my tea and get me caffeinated for the day. But it will be a battle royal of Templars and Emithril again going at it as we fight across the planet. Hold on just a second so I can fix this for Chris, just in case. Don't want there to be malfunctions. Let's see here. It's always nice to have to learn all new stuff.
Need anything from downstairs?
No, I'm good. All right, Chris, that should get it headed your way. All right, so hopefully that'll avoid any problems, just in case with the changes that we made. And we'll be able to do the giveaways during your show because we still access it through the chat. So I think James is gunning for me again today. He won't admit it, but he is. A little bigger battle. Got to keep the bad guys from getting up in my face. I said James is gunning for me today. He doesn't admit it, but he is. Yeah, he still thinks I would have won last night, or could have won. I don't think I could have. Not with what he had and me having so much long range. All right, before we get too further into that, we are going to do our 11 o'clock giveaway. And for this, we are giving away a CAV game pack. And what this is this is the book, a deck of cards for initiative, and faction, 4 models from a faction or starting sets. So we'll have that coming up in just a little bit. But yes, it'll be the book, the starting squad of the faction of your choice, and an initiative card deck. So we'll get that going. And we're going to leave this one open for a little bit. So
Winner is James. Me? Nah, I'm not entering. Have you ever noticed on the inside of the pillager this little 15? Both of the arms have that.
yes, actually, if you look on a lot of stuff, there's numbers on it.
Is there?
That is, the manufacturer did that
Yeah, to help them
to
figure
help
out.
the peons not get as confused.
Okay.
Some things have numbers, some things have like D1, B1, B2.
It's just interesting because the left and the right arm have the same number. Like, that would not help.
Yeah.
If it was there to help people get the right parts in the right package.
It could be that, or maybe I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know how they're, because like I said, they had their own little system that they put in when they proposed it to me, and I said, you do it however you want to do it, just make sure that all the stuff is either and they also had to all be raised.
Okay.
Because originally they were going to cut them in.
Right.
And I said that way
you
could shave them off and not have to
absolutely.
fill them in.
Yep, that's the right way to do it. Almost like you have experience with this.
A little bit. I didn't want everybody to get all crazy on me. Let's see, what are a couple other things that we can talk about? Tokens.
Yeah, tokens.
Yes, we are working on tokens, acrylic tokens, maybe some MDF ones too. I don't know, depending on how it sets up.
Yeah.
So be looking forward with that. We're putting the designs together for that. We're doing it all in-house. So we'll have token sets that you can use for different uses, double time, things like that.
So can I ask the standard question?
Yeah.
Are we going to get action?
I don't know. We could look at doing that. I don't know that they would probably be faction symbols, but we thought about
Even just
color-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right with me.
Yeah. That would be
So how do you envision them? I mean, what?
Park said he would have token entry.
Token
Yes.
Token envy?
The Anubis Guards Flashpoint. That's the one I'm finishing up right now. Truthfully, I think I'm going to be done by the end of the month. I'm that close.
Yeah.
That's I've really been hammering it hard. The two of the special edition minis for CAV-CON were models from that. The Surrogate and the Horus are from the Flashpoint. Fighting Piranha Graphics is doing decals for it, and it's going to be cool. I'm almost done. I know I've said that before.
Yeah.
I get started on something else, but I have really been hammering at it. And if it hadn't been for CAV-CON and a couple other things, it would be done. But I think I can legitimately be done by the end of September.
So is it a print release or a PDF?
It's all PDF. It's
So
a free PDF.
Basically,
release.
when you're done, it's going to get released very soon.
Yes, I'll finish the layout and out it comes.
Awesome.
But it's got a lot of background information on
Look, RPG Dungeon is here.
RP Dungeons. Yes, hi there, RP Dungeons.
The place I want to come play CAV at once this COVID thing goes away.
Yep. No, that's why I told him. I said when I was able to make a run, we'll be coming down there. So
Can I borrow your Warhawk?
my Warhawk.
Yeah. We'd like to take its weapons off so it's not so dangerous. Start on the table. I'm thinking about maybe making my pillager a little taller by filling that space in there.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to see how it stacked up against some of the taller models.
He was. Yeah, we had to watch get too tall with him because he's so wide.
Yeah, yeah. He's a
Yeah.
beefy boy.
And just an FYI for everybody, RPG Dungeons of Dallas is a new play spot in the Carrollton, Texas area. We are going to be giving away some gift certificates for them later today. You probably want to either make sure you're going to be in that area or you live around there to take use of them, because they offer a play area with tables and miniatures and cards and dice. All you have to do is show up, book your spot through their system, and you get to play.
The pictures I've seen make it look exceptional.
So here's a question that came up yesterday. Actually, we were talking a little bit about it. So if let's say I'm a CAV guy, I'm all by myself. I don't have anybody else to play, and I come in and I book a 4-hour slot with your store. Do you guys, because I know you kind of have your GMs and stuff like that, are you available as an opponent, or is there somebody that plays as an opponent if I'm a single CAV guy looking for a game?
Single CAV guy. It's got a strange ring to it.
I didn't want to bring up the other connotations that could go with that.
Sounds odd.
Yes. It's not like going down to, the people from Dallas will get this. It's not like going down to industrial and dropping a 20.
Demonetized.
So that would be something that they probably should call ahead for them and not just show up out of the blue.
So my understanding is they have models, painted models.
They have painted models that you can use after you book your position. And I believe that they sell their painted models as well.
So RPG Dungeon, you're saying yes, you sell the painted models?
I think he was talking
about
calling ahead.
Yeah,
if you're coming in by yourself and you need a game, call ahead and tell them that's what you're looking for. No, I had thought that would be a good, once everything got better, that we could like book it for a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Book the store and
play the campaign down there.
Have all CAV tables.
2 squads of each faction for sale or use by customers. So naturally, being the gamer, the jerk that I am, I was like, all right, so I come down there and I start a game against one of the store owners, right? In the middle of the game, I'm losing, or I'm about to suffer some terrible shot from your model. I just buy it until you give me my model in the middle of the game. Sorry.
It is rpgdungeons.com. There you go. There's probably more of those ads out there than you know. I can see all the 40K guys looking for if you're hardcore 40K, you better have a hardcore 40K girlfriend or wife. Those guys are crazy. Okay, so let's do our draw. We're going to close it. Maybe. Okay. And here we go.
Good luck.
Oh, okay. All right, there's our winner. Hey, Podell, this would be a good time to click the follow button. When you get a chance, we need you to type in exclamation point claim. And that should get that, and then we'll get a hold of you for you to pick your faction
Yep.
and get all that information. And maybe you have. It shows me when we click the deal that you haven't followed us. So I figure that'd be a good time for me to remind everybody. Follow us. Follow us.
Boing, boing. Colonel Kane, I am assembling a pillager. I'm gonna work on painting him after I get him assembled, which I just got him assembled. So I'm probably gonna primer him here in just a second for a Malvernus force. Hey boy, this is an attack cab, right? 2 heavy PPGs and a bunch of rockets or missiles or something.
It's rockets.
It's rockets.
Well, the rockets are down here.
Yeah.
That's his anti countermeasures or whatever that pops up.
He's got countermeasures. I guess I should look him up. I looked him up earlier, but I just can't remember him. I'm old and.
We will. Since it went through, we didn't get the system to work or whatever. I will message you, whisper you through here, and we'll get all the information there and take care of it. I just hadn't had a chance to get to it because we got busy with fixing everything this morning. But I have everybody listed on my sheet, so it'll all be good. And we have lots of other things to give away today.
Yes. Holy crack-a-mole, he's got 11 damage. I didn't know he was that big.
He's a big boy.
Oh, he is a big boy.
Yeah, I mean, with a name like Pillager,
Well,
you can't be a 3DT model, man.
Home would hope not. Although, locusts are kind of the same. They pillage things. All right, countermeasures 2. I've never actually seen countermeasures on the table. Can you walk me through that?
Countermeasures is a if they try to tag you or target lock you, you get a chance to block it on a. I think it's a target point 10. I don't think it's a 10 plus.
Not a. What's the word for that again? Strike point roll is a kind of roll.
Is a 10 plus roll. It's either a 10 plus roll or a target point 10 roll.
I think it's got a name of something.
So,
I was thinking strike point roll, that characteristic where a 10 is always successful.
Right.
I think there's like a name for that.
10 plus. Okay. It's a 10 plus roll.
Okay.
Yep. And then a target point would be something with just a 10 in excellent or parentheses.
So does countermeasures follow the blaster pattern? So countermeasures 2 means you
get
succeed.
you get a +2 to your roll. So countermeasures 1 gives you a +1. Countermeasures 2 gives you a +2.
Is there just countermeasures?
No, it's either 1 or 2.
So it's not like least favorite things in the game.
Yeah, it's just a modifier to the roll. So it's not something that correct. We'll start putting orders together on Monday. But because of the post office and everything being closed, we'll start shipping Tuesdays. And it also depends on how long it takes for us to get all the 3D prints done. This has been a pretty successful thing so far, but we'll get a bunch of them knocked out. We've got multiple printers, so yeah, I hit that when I was.
That's right.
It comes shooting out at me. I'm like, ah!
Did you buy these valves or did you make them?
I bought them. The quick connects actually came with the, oh no, they all came, this all came as one kit thing. Yeah.
One piece.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I know that I'm going to start with airbrush.
It's Labor Day, take the damn day off. Well, you know, technically I kind of feel like we're taking 3 days off anyway. We have fun doing this. So if I don't come in and work, I got to do stuff at the house or get stuck watching Netflix or something. That's the worst thing, because there's like The Boys and
Oh yeah, that just
there's 2 or 3 of them that are getting ready to start, and then the Mandalorian is coming next
really?
month.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot to watch. Marvel.
Ridley Scott has a new sci-fi series on Netflix that I'm always pretty good with Ridley Scott stuff.
It's not terrible.
He doesn't stray too far.
Do you subscribe to the Disney
We
channel?
do.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
all that MCU stuff will start dropping pretty soon.
Yes.
Winter Soldier and then the WandaVision
series,
thing.
yeah. Apparently the WandaVision thing has a lot to do with going forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm way into the MCU stuff. Even though I have to say, I'm a DC guy at heart.
Yeah.
Like I'm a Batman guy and Justice League.
That's the reason I'm looking forward to the new cut
yeah.
of Justice League.
Yeah, me too. Zack
Yes.
Snyder.
I don't have a problem with dark movies, superhero movies.
I'm okay with them.
Yeah.
You can go too far.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, to the extent on the deal, but as far as I don't need to have a joke every other deal. Yeah.
There's Trudeau.
We are too. I mean, and you know what's I wish back in April or May when we decided to cancel the physical CAV-CON that we had decided at that point to go ahead and do that. We could have done a whole lot more for the weekend. This all kind of came about in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So we're kind of shoehorning it in a little bit, but we went ahead with it because we want to kind of see how some things work and don't work. We want to get ideas from you guys. And I think going forward that we're going to try to do one virtual show and one physical show for CAV-CON every year. So
Simultaneously?
so many ways you can kill Thomas and Martha Wayne. Yeah, I mean, it's we could definitely be moving on to new characters for sure. We've explored Batman in 50 different ways. So
until they stop making $1 billion, you're not getting your wish.
That's what's so funny about when you go in and license like Batman, if you want to do models and everything like that, you license by the inch.
Right.
So there's a Batman license for a 1-inch figure. There's a Batman license for a 2-inch, probably 2.5, probably, and everything like that. So, and that they license that out to everybody based on that.
So you're saying we could get the 6mm version of the DC universe?
You possibly could be. I wouldn't want to pay the price that they probably ask for that, unless we can get it if they charge us by the millimeter.
Yeah, seriously. Honestly, I don't recognize everybody in the chat. Some of you guys I do, but if you're on Facebook, probably ought to join the CAV-HQ Facebook group if you get a chance, because then you'll see people posting up models talking about things in the context of the game. About 2 weeks ago, John asked me if I would come up and help out, and so at that point in time, I started painting from scratch a brand new Almirathil for us to play here on the table. And I've been posting and talking about that pretty frequently for the last couple of weeks. You could, if you're part of the Facebook group, you could have followed my progress.
Well, and we're trying to, I know that a lot of people are not Facebook.
Yeah.
That for whatever reason, with things that they do or the way that you consider, but there's not a lot of other popular options out there, that would be, there's other ways of doing it, but they're not as widely available.
Yep.
So, but we're exploring different ways to do things too, and trying to use Instagram a little bit more and things like that. So yeah, as far as our main CAV page, I think if you just go to Facebook and type in # CAV HQ, that will take you to our Facebook page as well.
Maybe that's your CAV RPG is really just the DC universe in the far distant future. Batman capturing calves and
right. I mean, I like the only problem that I have with the Batman, because I really like the Chris Nolan ones, the 3 they did, is, and I understand why they do it or whatever, but it gets a little old with the I'm Batman.
Yeah.
With the trying to talk in their voice real deep, you know? I mean, I know they need to change it up or something, but it just, sometimes some of them have done it that's what's so funny about, what's his name that does it for Lego?
Yeah.
That he's making fun of it. And that's what's so
Those
funny.
Those are hilarious.
Yes. Yeah.
So I like all kinds of comic book stuff, so I'm okay with the serious stuff for the most part. Honestly, I didn't really like the Joker movie that much. If it hadn't been for the fact they put the Joker skin on top of that movie, I probably wouldn't have went and saw it.
Yeah, it really wasn't a Joker movie.
Not really. Maybe it was, and I just don't understand the Joker.
Right. Well, but you saw what they decided now, right? Is they're doing the multiverse in DC.
Oh yeah,
that's the way they're
yeah.
going to explain the fact all the different movies.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah. That Flash does the the Flashpoint or whatever right. Where he screws up the timelines.
Do you watch the Netflix Arrowverse stuff, the Flash and all that other stuff?
I watched it on the Warner
when it originally came out.
Yeah, all those stuff like that.
See, I got behind, so I have to watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, I kept up and did all Arrow. It got a little goofy at the end.
Right.
Flash, I've kept up with Flash. Yeah. I couldn't. The Legends of Tomorrow.
It's a little out there.
I couldn't keep up with it. It was not. I didn't like Black Lightning. I haven't watched the new Supergirl thingy or whatever. I did like Supergirl.
Yeah.
I watched it at the beginning. It got a little too preachy.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of go back and forth. Yeah, well, but that's they recut Suicide Squad too because they tried to emulate the Marvel style of the funny and the quick cuts and all the little things like that, and Marvel had a way to do it and it worked in the Marvel universe, but some of the stuff that DC does has always been a little darker. Stargirl, yes, that's the one. Yeah, I haven't watched any Stargirl yet. I love Wonder Woman. Out of all of them, I cannot wait to see Wonder Woman 1984.
I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah, out of all the ones that's been advertised as of late, that's one I was really disappointed that it got delayed. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree, RPG. I think Leto's Joker was very good. So I love the hand, the happy face on the hand when he the laugh. I thought that was cool. I need to have that tattooed on my that big smiley face.
I'm not sure that's a good idea. Tattoos are very permanent.
Because I felt that Leto's Joker was truer to Mark Hamill's, the animated one, and I love Mark Hamill doing the Joker.
I think the thing with the Joker is he can just become too dark for my taste.
Yes.
You can easily take him over the edge.
Yeah, if you watch The Killing Joke.
I won't. I've never read it, and I won't. And I won't read it. And
it's tough. Yeah, it's tough.
I know the story, but I don't enjoy those kinds of stories, so I don't watch them.
See, I didn't read the comic book.
Yeah.
So I watched the animated movie, not realizing. Yeah. And of course, once I'm in, usually
you're sticking around.
I'm in. Yeah. But of course, I like Cesar Romero as the Joker too. So
I'm a huge Batman '66 fan. I have the when they finally got the licensing for that sorted out, I immediately ordered that that DVD set.
Yeah, no, all the Riddler, Batman, Burgess Meredith, and all them.
Frank Gordon.
The Catwoman girl.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. There's a couple of different of those, but that's. I just love that whole series. In fact, I got my my old PS3 set up in my paint room so I can throw the DVDs in there, and play them while I'm painting. Oh my gosh!
Holy cow, Batman!
Some of the ridiculous stuff.
Yeah.
But I really love the way. I love the way. Are we allowed to do spoilers? Spoilers for the Flash?
Probably not.
Okay, so I won't talk about it. In general, I love the way DC in their modern takes have paid homage to the older stuff.
Yeah.
They recognize their history and their roots, and they'll bring those characters forward and demonstrate they are part of the current story.
Because the bad thing about spoilers on like this is they have to leave. we don't want to. They may not come back.
That's why I asked. Try and be considerate.
Yeah, no, Jim Carrey did a good Riddler. I mean, the whole show as a whole, I could have done without, but he did do a good Riddler. So I did not like Tommy Jones as Two-Face.
I feel like they needed to give those guys their own movies.
I thought what's his name that did it in Nolan's movies played Harvey Dent, and Two-Face did a good job.
Yeah.
But I like him anyway. He did Battlefield Earth or whatever, or Battle Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Never find them old lines until you start priming.
I mean, it wasn't so many heroes and bad guys. It was the fact of who they had. George Clooney is not Batman.
No.
So I'm hoping that the new Twilight guy can pull Batman off.
Yeah,
I didn't think Affleck could, and he did. So
he did a decent job.
Yeah,
I enjoyed his Batman. He's like the big superhero, like versus Superman Batman. I'm looking forward to Robert Pattinson, the story he's in being, the quieter detective Batman.
Yes, Battlefield Earth as a movie is horrible. The book is, I love the book, but they didn't really do the book. Besides the writer's decision to make his own church.
Yeah.
The book is very, very good.
Yeah, that guy's different. Speaking of books, did you get that book I gifted you?
I have not yet.
I just want to make sure you get it at some point in time. It's worth reading.
All right, we got 5 minutes till the game, so you might want to start getting
I should start painting my army. Is that what
well,
you're
you
saying?
should kind of get to a starting point.
Yeah.
We'll have a few minutes as we're making the switch over anyway. Why don't you do that? While you're working on that, you can talk for a little bit, and I'm going to go over here and start getting set up for the changeover.
Sparks Murphy. Yep, absolutely. There's another podcast I listen to. I won't mention them here, but they have a funny saying, and it sort of goes like this: if you wait to the last minute to paint your army, it only takes a minute.
That's true.
I always thought that was pretty funny. Michael Keaton, Tiger Wraith. I agree with you about Michael Keaton's Batman. They're bringing him back. They've signed him to appear in some of the upcoming DC movies, the big main screen movies. The Wayne Commander. Everybody has their guilty pleasure, a movie that did it for them that was probably not really a very good movie, but yeah. If you like it, you like it. Yeah, Kruger, and I agree with you completely. He's a fantastic actor. I really liked it when I guess I'm not going to say that because again, I don't want to spoil anything for people, even though that movie's been out for a long time. He he played really well. He was quietly menacing without having to say a word, really. I'm also looking forward to the Amazon Lord of the Rings production. And this is a much smaller set of properties than Lord of the Rings. But I don't know if any of you know who Terry Pratchett is. Terry Pratchett was a British author, did a lot of satirical fantasy, and then his satirical fantasy took on a life of its own and became its own fantasy story. The BBC is doing an adaptation of his book, The Night Watch, which I'm really looking forward to. I'd love to see his stuff come to the big screen. It would be, I think it could be as big as Harry Potter with a really comical twist. His books are, he's my favorite author. Yep, you knew. Absolutely, Discworld, Bloody Living, 100%. It's most of his writing is in Discworld, or at least the writing that I'm familiar with. I know he did a bunch of other stuff, some kind of gnome story and some proto Discworld stuff, but that's what I like is the whole Discworld thing. Robot jocks. Hey, you know, it would be nice to see somebody pick up one of the giant stompy robot franchises and do like a real movie out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, CAV would be all right with me. Wouldn't hurt my feeling. I mean, Pacific Rim is solid. But it falls in the Godzilla genre, I think. Oh, really, Tiger Red? You didn't know Amazon's doing Lord of the Rings? It's big budget. If I remember the number correctly, they paid $250 million for the license. So that's not even part of the budget. That's just the license to get to do the movie. So
the budget's $1 billion.
John says, in case you didn't hear him, he said the budget for the show is $1 billion. It's already been picked up for a second season, I believe, and they haven't even filmed the first season. Lemming, are you talking about Mr. Pratchett? Is that what you're talking about? So I don't think we have a release date for the Lord of the Rings show from Amazon. It's in fact I think they've just started production, or they're getting ready to start production because the whole COVID thing came out. So 2021, or wait a minute, yeah. Tiger Wraith, you said 20,201. I didn't know if you were being funny or not. Yeah, Lemming. Terry Pratchett is absolutely one of my favorite authors. He is my favorite author in the world, and I have listened to his books. That's how I consume books nowadays. Many times. Going Postal was a fair representation of his work. I think there's God, I'm so bad with names. There's Hogfather is also a thing that they did. It's a story of his that they adapted to DVD video. Netflix season 2 of Witcher. That'll be fun. Yeah, I enjoyed The Witcher. It was. I guess maybe I'm a little bit of a prude, but yeah, in my opinion, people's clothes tended to fall off a little too often in that show. I didn't need all the nudity that was in there, but I understand, I guess, why people do it. Just not my thing. Still a good story. Empty. I guess I should stop there. It's a minute to keep it from. I mean, I read all the old Elric stuff many years ago. Not sure I would call it a ripoff, but I can see where they share things in common. Definitely have similar features. I don't know the Witcher story super well, so other than just the TV series, I'm not familiar with it. So maybe there's more connection in the back of those two shows than I know. Entirely possible. Color of Magic, yeah. Was that his first book? Was that Mr. Pratchett's first book? I think it was. He started out, his first series was really about Rincewind the Wizard, and then he branched out after that into, gosh, there's so many characters. I love the Witches of Lancre. I love the Death series. My wife's favorite part is the whole watch series with Commander Sam Vimes, Lord Commander Sam Vimes now. Carrot and Angua and TALON and Cherry and Knobby Knobs, things like that. Carpet people. Yeah, I think you're probably right. He wrote some, I could look it up in my Audible list. There's another book of his whose name eludes me that is like proto Discworld. It's not set in the Discworld, but you can see a lot of the Discworld elements in it. I'll look it up when we take a break and share it with you guys. Strata, that's it. Absolutely, Sparks. There's a man who knows his stuff. Color, oh yeah, Color Magic was also done. Yeah. Translate. Yeah, all right. So probably was influenced by Elric quite a bit. I really enjoyed those Elric stories a long time ago. I liked the original Robert E. Conans. You know, they're a little hard to read in a modern context, some of those, but they're not bad. Shannara, yeah, I read Shannara back when I was young. It just didn't catch with me as much as some of the other Pratchett new. Let's start with a line like the Guards line of the Witches. Yeah. There's can't remember the name of the website. L Web or something like that. It's a play on Pratchett's idea about libraries. But there's a website dedicated to Pratchett that has essentially a map that shows you how to read, you know, like the Guard series and the Witches series and the Death series. It shows how the stories are interconnected. So definitely, if I were to start a new person reading the Pratchett stuff, I would send them to that website and tell them, don't just read them from first print date to last print date. Follow the storylines through the different paths. Yeah, awesome, Sparks. I kind of stopped collecting physical books a few years ago and switched to digital where I could. Obviously, there's some things that aren't available in digital, but so I only have them in audiobook format. But I've got the entire Discworld series and many of those subsequent novels, the Science of Discworld, and there's some of those collected things that he did where his early short stories were connected, things like that. Lemming, are you talking about the connection between Elric and Witcher? Is that the link that you're talking about? Okay, yeah, I'd be curious to see that. Not familiar with the Sword of Truth stuff. Isn't somebody doing Wheel of Time as well? Isn't somebody bought the rights to Wheel of Time? Yeah, okay. I started reading the Wheel of Time series, and to be honest with you, those characters were so awful to each other, I stopped. Just, I don't know. It wasn't unbearable, but it was just at the time I wasn't enjoying it. I got about halfway through that and just quit. Yeah, it's a lot to slog through, and it got to the point where some of the characters were just unbearably unpleasant. Sparks, are you familiar with the BBC adaptation? Have you been following the stuff that's coming out for the Night Watch? Oh yeah, Tiger. Wait, those things are gigantic. I'm listening to them, right? So some of those Wheel of Time books were like 50 plus hours of listening for one book. Yeah, so his daughter, Brianna Pratchett, I believe. I think that's her name. Pretty sure. She's involved with it. It's not. It's an interpretation of the Watch, not a strict adaptation. So it's. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it's got a. It, it's definitely not the book per se. It's just inspired by the book. I'm curious to see how that works. Tiger Wraith, you're talking about the Wheel of Time series? Yeah, you're right, Spark. She did quite a bit of that stripping work. She's a game story writer, a writer in general, but that's her own personal claim to fame. Heavily involved in writing, the fiction behind games and stuff like that. Wow, I didn't know that, Tiger Wraith. Yeah, that series has been around for a long time. I when it comes out on video, I'll give it another try, and if it's bearable, maybe I can go back and log my way through those characters. But it was just too much of time for me. I don't need this much. Sparks. I want to say that several of his other Narrativa. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. Narrativia is the name of the production company that's in charge of adapting Terry Pratchett's works to other media. And I know that his daughter is, if she's not in charge of the whole thing, she's heavily involved in it. So I feel confident that it's going to see a treatment a worthy treatment. This is the right way to say it. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. So Good Omens is a book I thought was only okay. I enjoyed it, but it didn't really spark my fancy. But when I watched the series on Amazon, it was fantastic. David Tennant, and I wish I could remember the other actor's name, the guy who played the angel. Unfortunately, I can't. But those two they were spectacular. I think the saying is they were chewing up the scenery. It was just super good. I've heard that they're gonna do a second season of that. Look, it's unpainted gray. I told you we need that color. Michael Sheen. Thanks. Thanks, Sparks. Anubis Guards. The Anubis Guards a thing you're putting out, John?
Part of the Flashpoint.
Okay. So what do we know about it? Have I missed some fiction somewhere?
We haven't put it out. It's
Okay.
coming out as a Flashpoint.
So Colonel Kane is just declaring that the Anubis Guards is the best faction in the game without any
Yeah.
He's just calling his shot. He's standing at the plate. He's like, "This is a home run. It's going to be awesome."
This is what it is.
All right. Gives us all something to gun for.
All right. We are ready to go. Game time. We're going to do another giveaway for our 12 o'clock hour. This is going to be for a free Circuit and Horus mini. The two CAV-CON minis. You'll get a pack of each of them. So we're going to get that one going. That's my mouse. Try to come back. That. This will be for a Circuit and Horus pack of minis, the CAV 2020 special miniatures. And then we are going to, after we do this, we're going to take about a 5-minute break while we make our switch over for everything. So we'll leave you guys to your own resources for a moment. Oh, another day. It is. The humidity's up a little bit today, more so than it was yesterday. So, but it's not too bad up here. We're on the second floor of the building, and the heat tends to accumulate more up here. A, because we're underneath the roof, and B, because it's a second floor. So, but it all keeps up with it pretty good. Just waiting on James to get back, and then we'll do the draw, and then we'll do the switch over as we pause. And just an FYI, in case it comes up, if you're an overseas winner of anything, we will pay to get it shipped over to you, but we do have to declare everything at retail prices, and you will be responsible for any VAT or your version SHT that you have for your particular country. So be aware of that when it arrives. La, 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 la. Guys are talking about all the books and everything like that. Speaking of, if you are a aspiring author or artist, you're more than welcome to get a hold of us at questions@talon-games.com. We'd be glad to look at what you got or what you're able to do, especially on the art department. So, okay, so Mad Dog is back. We are going to do our drawing, and then we are going to be doing our switch over. So it'll take us about 5 minutes, and then we will be back. All right, good luck.
What did you give away? I forgot.
The circuit and the horse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pack. Okay, there we go. Congratulations. You need to type exclamation mark claim, CLAIM, for it to get to take care of all of that nice information.
Congrats, Cthulhu. That seems...
Cthulhu had to win.
Yeah.
He didn't want to. What happens when you mess
Yeah,
mess up with the Cthulhu.
don't want to make him angry at you.
Yeah. But yes, Cthulhu 81000. Yeah, there you go. So you're good. All right, we will be back in about 5 minutes. So hang tight. We're not going to disconnect. We're just going to be moving some stuff around here.
Channel playing music.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Hello, hello, hello.
One more button that we had to click there.
Click the boutons.
So, how many? You have 2 squads?
2 squads. You've got 3 of them.
3. I have 3 squads.
Help me remember, I have that recon drone support thing, so I get like 1 extra recon thing. Just help me remember. I guess I have a question about it. I've never played it before.
I don't remember it.
It basically lets me do like a recon thing at once. I basically spin the drone, and I get to send a card to the bottom of the deck.
Okay.
Now, can I do that in addition to my recon squad?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's a one-time.
Yeah, it's a one-time thing, right? If I had 2 more points, I could have had 2 of them. RPG Dungeon likes your board, likes the look.
Thank you.
Greetings, Savage. Mr. Coyote. Mr. Hummingbird, really, that's what I should call him.
The owl.
Yeah, the owls too.
I like his hooters.
Yeah. All right. Listen to you. Yeah, that's a better place for those little Anubis things. I didn't know what to do with them. I'm glad you moved them.
But since I built it, I knew the setup. All right, James, you want to give us a little overview of your force?
Okay, so what I got here is an Almirathal force with a specialist squad and a recon squad. So I've got in my specialist squad, I've got a fullback, which is a Ritter Lend-Lease Tiger, Cobra, and 2 Gauntlet 2s, which are Lend-Lease Lion 2s or Commander 2s. I can never remember.
They're lions.
Lion 2s. So this guy's got a couple of heavy max. The thing, maybe I'm just not familiar with the Tiger, but the thing that surprised me is that the fullback has double time.
Yes.
Does the Tiger have double time?
No.
I didn't think so. It was like, doesn't look like a double time Cav. I'm definitely more of a hobbyist than I am a gamer. Anyway, so the fullback has got 2 heavy max, strength 7, blaster 2, double time, assault 2, rugged, a couple of ammo bins, TC 1, and Wizzo. So that's these 2 guys right here. The Cobra is a really quick little light recon mech. Got a movement of 13, double time, phase array 1, EST, superior mobility, TC 1, and tag. A couple of Gauntlet 2s. These are, there they are right there. So they're grav tanks. They have a single heavy PPG that's going to matter for this game. There's some heavy machine guns. That's not going to matter. They are improved handling, turret, pop-up, assault 1, reinforced 1, smoke, which you have to look up because I don't remember. I've never played with smoke.
Right.
And TC 1. Maybe we can find somebody who can help me understand the smoke thing. Maybe. Yeah,
It's
maybe.
also on your. I gave you the little cheat sheet, so you can look there.
Just being funny.
I'll have to figure it out. It's been so long since I played with smoke. We wrote it.
I've literally never played with smoke.
Yeah.
All right, and then I've got in my recon squad, I've got another Cobra, so I won't go over him. 2 King Cobras. They're like beefed up Cobras. They are double time, 4 medium LBGs, ECM2, superior mobility, advanced targeting computer 2, and tag. Although I don't have anything to do with the tags, so we won't be using any tags today. At least I won't. All right.
All right. I am playing Templars, and smoke is broke. Whatever. I know who that always is crying in his beer. All right. I am playing Templars, and I have 3 squads. I have an attack squad, a recon squad, and a special squad. My attack squad is made up of a duelist, two, make sure that doesn't sweat on there,
Sure,
because
absolutely.
it'll run. Is a duelist, two warhawks, and a hoplite, which is an attack Spartan version of the Spartan with racks, rotary autocannons, and EST.
And EST. Okay.
My recon squad is 6 sabers,
You can have 6 in a recon squad?
4 to 6 models.
In a recon.
We're not playing faction.
Oh, you're not playing factions. So,
Yes.
so you're some Templar mercenary.
It's a Templar unit, but this is a special recon squad.
Templar units are always fully painted, so that's clearly mercenaries.
So
Scum
anyway,
of the earth.
So I have 6 sabers in my recon squad, all recon. And then my special squad is my one little gladiator too. Yeah. So that's where we're at. So you get 2 cards, 2 red cards. I get 3 green cards. So we both have a recon. So we both get to kick a card, and then you bought a
Single recon.
recon battlefield asset drone. Yes.
Yeah, because I was under points.
To kick a card, but it's a one-time deal.
Right. So this smoke, is that in the special ability?
Read the version.
Oh, yeah, that's
on the
right.
sheet.
I forgot.
Yeah.
It's probably
No.
modified since.
Well, look at the green one I gave you.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. There's a cheat sheet.
Yes.
It requires a special action. Generate a smoke cloud AoE 2 centered on the current location, or a smoke line AoE 1 per 1 inch move, so you can trail smoke behind you.
Yep.
Provides a light cover bonus and I'm assuming blocks line of sight for tag. Does it block line of sight for tag? Because it doesn't actually say the word block.
Yes.
That's okay.
It doesn't say prevent tag or something.
It says provides light cover bonus and LOS for SA tag. That's an exact quote.
It blocks tag.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant.
All right. So now we will do deployment within our 6-inch deployment area.
Okay.
Possible. Any questions before we get started? I know you're kidding. I just was playing. Speak now, but we're getting ready to go. Okay, so we're going to deploy. First squad to deploy is the Terrans. And we are going to deploy our special squad.
Who would have ever guessed?
And
no object. Oh, we should probably talk about terrain first, right? Just to make sure we're all on the same page before you make a deployment decision.
we can.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, a lot of it seems fairly obvious. The woods are
It's all light.
all light
We're
woods.
going to play all light woods
Makes life simple.
with our jungle trees.
I guess really the things that look like we need to talk about them to me are the skeletons and the block Anubis things and this stuff in here.
They all block.
Uh-huh.
You can't walk through them or over them. You have to move around them.
All right.
Line of sight would be blocked if it goes through. This we get more into having to do a little by actual deal. So the pillars, if the line was to go through there, that block line of sight measured.
So
the statues.
Do these have any elevation?
They do. They're elevation 1.
Okay, so you could pop up from behind those.
Right. You could use it for light cover.
Okay.
The statues are over here are all too tall, so they'll be blocking cover.
So these guys right there?
And the 3 in the middle.
3 in the middle. So this is essentially a big elevation 3 thing?
Yes.
Completely for its base?
Yes.
Same thing here?
Yeah.
But like hypothetically, I could sit here and pop up through this?
Yes, if you can see through there without going through the pillar.
Right. And the skeletons are level 1s?
Level 1 skeletons. Yep. We have a little bit of rough.
Yeah.
We got one back there, one here,
Piece there.
got another over there.
Yeah.
Lots of tall stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously the pyramid. This is like a 7 or 8 here.
Yeah. You can't get up there
Yeah.
anyway.
But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a lot of high, tall stuff. There's a few high spots you can get on some of it.
That one long piece of terrain in the middle, that middle piece is one elevation level?
Here?
Yeah, so can you go from there to the next one up or not?
No, because that's a level,
That's
another
2.
2.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 and 2. This is a level 5 total.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I think that makes sense.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. So.
And no objectives, we're just
it's easier just as we're answering questions and play just to be shooting.
Just to punch each other.
Yeah, and do things.
Anyone else sitting with their rule book open? I feel like we're taking a test, John.
that happens. That happens to me even to this day. I go back and because I don't read it every day, and I'm like, oh, I wrote that.
Absolutely. Me
yeah.
too.
What the hell was I thinking? Okay.
Right. So now you deploy.
I deployed my special squad.
Now it's up to me.
My glad. No, well, maybe
Oh,
not.
really? All right. I thought after that we alternated.
Nope.
I didn't know.
Yep. So it's for me to again.
Okay.
And the drop ship.
Yeah,
This is just kind of candy here that we put in since I'm Templar. I've landed and I'm coming around to engage.
If you need to hypothetically move there, we'll just pull it out of the way.
Yep. No.
Just go around it?
Just have to go
so it's
around
a giant piece of blocking
big,
terrain.
Big blocking piece of terrain. Okay. I am going to defer my recon squad.
So how does that work? Help me out.
It goes all the way to the end, and then I get to deploy.
So
you can do the same thing.
So that's not a card manipulation thing. That's a rule for deployment.
For deployment,
okay.
Yeah, a recon squad can push their deployment to the end.
Okay.
So I'm going to defer my card, my recon.
So that card right there is your recon squad being deferred.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So flip up the next card.
I am a winner here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't get to defer anymore. So.
Parks Murphy says you're in a no parking zone.
We are going to deploy our attack squad.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see if there's another green card in there.
I think I'm done.
Okay. So now
you can either defer your recon squad or.
And that doesn't cost me anything. It's not a resource I have to spend to do that.
No,
I can just say I'm going to go last.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'll defer my recon squad.
So and then I would have to
deploy your recon squad.
Deploy mine because.
So magically, I get to see your whole deployment. Nice. I said it just. I looked out. I haven't deployed anything.
Well, that's why I need to correct myself because they're moved to the end. So you have to deploy that squad. Then I will deploy my recon. Then you deploy your recon.
Oh, okay.
All recons move to the end.
Technically this one, but okay, that's
yes.
fine. Well, 2 Warhawks. What does the little guy in the specialist squad have? Looks like MRACs.
MRACs.
And a duelist, and then the Hoplite, which also has MRACs.
It has racks.
Racks.
Rotary autocannons.
Okay.
Rotary autocannons.
What's the strength on those?
3 6s.
3 6. Okay.
3 6.
Yes, gotcha.
Too bad we can't. Sometimes we need to figure out how we can let people that are watching play.
Yeah, just tell us what to do.
To move or what to do.
I mean, if you had you could probably just put them in charge and say, okay, I want to go this way. You just
well, that's what I'm saying. I get probably for speed and everything, it was like everybody gets one.
Yeah.
But that may be a cool take on the CAV race.
Yeah, that would be fun. All right, let me pull these guys out of the way.
They can use channel points to select their guy and then tell us what they want to do.
Yeah. Here. Here. here because I don't care about that.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see a lot of rocket fire in this game.
I didn't bring any.
I don't think I have any rockets either.
Not a lot. Nope, not a lot
So
at
no
all.
indirect
This guy's
fire.
actually came in right there. Okay.
But lots of missiles.
Your recon squad.
Okay.
Sparks has got a good sense of humor.
This is all right. So. Dun, 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 dun.
More or less. Real quick, I don't know what your savers. See them on all time. What you that didn't reckon theirs is respectable. Pretty cool.
Nice little cheap tank.
Yeah, don't disagree with you.
184.
Very super cheap. My turn?
Yep.
Okay.
Built the wall.
All right.
What did I do with mine? Okay. So we are ready for turn one.
Turn one.
Okay. First move
Green.
is green.
Okay.
And I will move my gladiator special squad. He is 8. So he is going to double move.
Okay.
And he is going to go there. Then he's going to turn. And then he's going to go. He is done.
Okay. Next card.
Nice, easy,
Very
short
easy.
squad
Yep.
turn. What the hell is wrong with this thing? Broke it.
Spend your recon ability. Send it to the room.
Nah, we're not ready. We don't need to kick the.
That's every turn, right? For the recon squad,
Yes.
right? Colonel Kane asks, "Who's winning?" You are. You're watching a CAV game.
I am because I'm closer now.
Yeah, there
I
we go.
move closer. I'm going to go ahead and move my recon squad. And they are all going to double move.
Okay.
Uh, 10. Yeah. I think I'm keeping they are double. Okay, so he is going to make turn and go there, which is 9. Second turn and 7. Good thing that we have no rockets.
Yeah. I wanted to bring my bears, but they're pretty expensive.
And everybody has double time.
Okay.
Unless they split up. All right, next up, I shuffled great.
You're awesome. You sure there are red cards in there?
I shuffled awesome. All right, they're all going to double move. Okay,
All right. Is it my turn yet?
it is your turn. Want to do whatever you want to do.
All right. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to activate my attack squad. They are all going to double move. The Cobra has, I believe, sure, has inferior mobility, so you can ignore this intervening terrain
Level
here.
ones,
Yeah.
Mike Woods.
Yeah. So he's going to take his free turn. I want him to duck. He's like, I'm going to turn like this, and then I'm going to move 13 inches to there. That qualifies me for double time.
Okay.
No, not necessarily. It's the last movement activation.
The second move action.
Yeah, right. And I'm allowed a free turn in each one. If I spend part of my movement, I lose to turn, I lose double time. I think is a quick way of summing it up.
An extra point of it.
Right.
Yes.
If I end up spending any of my movement to turn, I don't qualify for double time.
Right. Other than you get one free. So if you save the one to the second half, then
so I could take them both in the second half of the move, hypothetically. So I could just
no.
I could move straight and then turn
because
with my two free moves.
Because double time is a separate deal. So
okay.
if you're choosing to the first one, if you want to save the other one into double time, you can. You can't save both of them into the double time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 6 of 1. So then I'm just going to move another 13. And this is actually the movement that triggers my double time.
Yes.
It's the last move. He's going to move to there. All right. My tiger, who also strangely enough has double time.
Because
not tiger.
Yeah, because you can get around it too. You know, like if you don't want to move the full thing as your first move, you move
right.
4 inches
right.
and then do the third. You know.
Okay. So I'm gonna take a turn to scrape. I don't hit this extra movement cost thing there, and then I have a movement of 10. So 10 to there. And then he's gonna probably have to angle just a little bit, but I've got another free turn, bit of a turn there, and he's going to move 10 to there. Okay. Then the 2 gauntlets. Improved handling. Remind me later offline. I want to talk to you about improved handling.
Okay.
Get my free turn to 90. I'm going to move 8 there. Take my free turn, and it is no. I'm sorry, 6. 8 is their armor. I misread that. Turn 6. Turn 2. Turn and move 6. Turn 6. So I just finished at this point, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I wonder if we could get an official sponsorship out of Serta,
Serta?
the mattress company that has the count sheet. People watching us play.
Oh yeah, because we're so slow. Sorry.
Well, no, I'm not saying slow. I'm just saying it's, watching other people play. It's especially moving. It's
10.
Overly exciting.
And then take my other free turn to scrape those woods. Move 10 to there. And then these guys moving double time. And these guys are all pure mobility. So I don't have to worry about this. And turn. Door 10. Get to there. And then if we turn, goes into these woods right here. Oh, we need the woods with the movable trees, John.
Well, these are old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm redoing
10.
them all. Just haven't got to the
10. Then the Cobra. 13. Not quite ready to come out of the woods yet, so I won't actually get double time with him because I didn't move my full distance.
Okay.
I need to mark some double. I don't have enough tokens. I don't have enough tokens for double time.
I'm just turning them upside down.
I've only got 4 tokens. I've got more people that are in double time than
Well,
4.
they're in that plastic.
Right here?
Yeah. Just grab whatever you want, turn it upside down.
That's fine. All right, I only needed the 1 extra. All right.
All right.
You turn.
All right. We're shuffled up.
Questions? Let's look for questions. Who's my? No new questions.
We're
All
still
right.
on that one. Okay.
Green.
Goodness. Gladiator's got to go first.
Doesn't have to.
Yeah, because he's in everybody's way. Gotta move along. Move along. These are not the droids you're looking for. We're going to double move.
Okay.
So he is going to go 8. There. Okay.
Hard.
Beautiful. We're going to go back here, and it is going to be double moves.
Okay.
Duelist first. 7.
Is smoke a one-time thing, or is it a every action thing?
It's a special action. You do it every turn.
But yeah, it's a special action. John?
How good is that?
John, that's not good. That's suspicious, is what that is.
That is. And it actually boom, boom, boom. Even
I
thought I was being smart going to the middle.
Obviously, I don't distrust you, but it is pretty funny.
Yes. I mean, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it when we're shooting. All right, these guys are all just going to move. One move will take. Okay.
All right, so just for my education purposes, let's talk about line of sight.
Okay.
So those tanks are all elevation 1. There's an elevation 1 hill there. How far out away from the hill can they not be seen?
1 inch.
So the guy that's in close probably can't be seen,
Right.
but the guys on the other side of him probably can be seen.
Other than they block line of sight to each other. Bam, bam, bam.
To the center of the model. To the center of the model, right?
Well, he gets the same because
So
the vehicles are level 1. So
yeah, but the guy I can't see for the hill can't block the guy behind him. I can't see him.
yeah, because he gets that from this guy.
So help me understand that. There's a model I can't see. Listen to me.
Right.
And somehow he blocks my line of sight, even though I can't see him.
Right.
How does that even make
Well,
sense?
because I mean that's just a game mechanic. Okay.
Okay.
But because vehicles are level 1, you get light cover from level 1s or blocking cover in their sense because they're level 1s. So if this hill wasn't here,
right,
you could see both of these guys,
right,
but you could not see these guys because each one is supplying the other one the extra cover.
So just to extend the analogy, right? So this guy is a level 1 vehicle.
Yes.
And so in this scenario, I can't see anybody all the way back to the edge of the board because this guy blocks him, blocks him, blocks him, blocks him, blocks him, all the way back to the edge of the board.
By the rules, yes.
I just want to make sure that I understand that.
Yeah.
All right. I assume it's my turn now?
Yes.
Let's flip over the next card and see if it's actually green.
Wow, all 5 green?
Yeah, all 5 of them are green. Actually, that would be 8. Think about it. It's worth a try, I guess. All right, I'm going to activate my attack squad. I just get to go back to back, so it doesn't matter. I can activate these guys and get them out of the way. That's probably the best choice. He's not going to. Okay, so I'm activating the recon squad.
Okay.
APA 1 is 24 inches.
I'm sorry.
APA 1 is 24 inches?
Yes.
Yeah, 24 inches. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to, my fullback in this squad is going to double move.
Okay.
The 2 king code, let me see. I think the whole squad is probably just going to double move.
Okay.
Right there. So this guy's going to take his free turn and move. All right. So trying to figure out how to use double time and not actually move both movements the full action. I think you explained to me it's the last movement action that determines whether you get double time. So I could move like 3 inches in my first move and then full 10 inches in the second move to get double time.
Or you can kind of
mix it up
in order to get where you need to go.
Right.
But as long as the last.
But I can't measure that ahead of time, so I kind of have to guess how much to move in the first move. Okay. I think probably.
Well, no. Once you've declared, you can, if you need to.
I can just measure.
You can measure.
So it's legal for me to go. I'm going to double move and just start and just lay down my ruler.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you're doing you're as long as he's activated and he's declared, then you can start measuring.
He's gonna move to there and use his last free move or turn to.
Okay.
And he's going to make sure his center of his base isn't looking at that pillar. That would be foolish. Probably. Actually, I only have to be within an inch of it, right?
Yeah.
Not up against it. So yeah, I will go back there. is delta. Okay. Move this guy over to here. This is a elevation 3 thingy.
Yep.
He is now I need more time. He is double top. This guy right here. Right. So, into there.
Yes, Cthulhu, it is handmade
And
out of cardboard.
he's also going to go there. Take his free. He doesn't have to be that close. Take his free action.
Everything is handmade other than
Face the
the statues, which are Reaper miniatures.
And these guys. Into there.
Oh, and the
Take his
dinosaurs.
free
The
turn.
dinosaurs,
Over there.
handmade.
Oh.
I actually got those at a Hallmark store in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
So then I'm going to activate my recon squad.
Okay.
This guy is going to move his 10. So if he running guns, it goes down to 8, and then he moves 16 for the running gun. For mine. Well, there's a tiny chance. I'm just going to take the chance. So this guy's going to he's going to target lock this nearest saber, just in case I can get line of sight to him. Not sure if I can. And he's going to move.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think they're within 24. Pretty sure they're not within 24, so APA wouldn't do me any good. But he does need to move out of the way. And target lock is in. That's not. He just needs to get out of this guy's way. He's got tons of movement to get. He's got 13. I'm going to say he moves. This guy's going to, he's running, gunning, trying to shoot that guy. And these guys are double moving to try and get into cover.
Okay.
Right. Here comes the important one. So he's got 16 inches of movement.
Right, and one turn.
So running gun is similar to the other thing, right? If I have to turn again to do what I want to do, I lose my shot.
You're done.
Okay.
You don't move anymore and you don't shoot anymore.
Do I have to move the whole 16, or is it just like the other thing?
Yeah, you have to spend all of your movement.
All of them.
Yes. But you can shoot at any point during the.
He gets to here. Can't turn because he had to line up. Probably actually he's clear.
You still have line of sight to this guy, but
I don't
because
know.
of the turn twist. Yeah, because your half is going to be way over here.
Let's make sure I actually get through the. I may not get through the. I still can't see him. What's the hill?
You can, because I'm not within an inch.
Oh, you're not within an inch of that?
That right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll take my 2 max shots against that guy. Or should I go ahead and move these guys first? I can't remember Is it best to finish his action before I move these guys, or go ahead and move everybody?
I'd go ahead and you can go ahead and finish.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's either one.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and move them so I don't forget. On the 2s, double
Since
moving.
you're everything
12.
you're done at the end.
You're not going to get it. So then.
No, they're not. Reaper did some Egyptian themed of the Egyptian gods on thrones and stuff like that, and that's what they are. I don't know if they ever did them in plastic or not. I know that some of the new stuff with the Greek statues and stuff like that, I'm going to take those and make some new versions.
Yeah, let's just do that. He gets right. All right. Those guys have moved now. I got the shot from that guy, and then I'll be done with my turn. So 2, I guess we should check the range.
Yeah.
Like 28.
Okay.
So that's probably long.
Or,
Oh, crap.
yeah, just scoot it back a little bit.
So the fullback has heavy max, range 12, so that's long. Yeah, 28 is long. See, you are target locked. That turns on my targeting computer 1,
Yep.
and I have Wizzo. So I need a base 8 minus 1 for targeting computer minus 1 for Wizzo down to a 6. You didn't double time.
I didn't double.
And you're not behind cover. So
Yep.
there's 2 shots at a 6. Is that accurate?
Yep.
Is there any questions over there?
Asking about
Oh, the calves are not handmade? So a hit and a miss. So an 8 is, I needed a 6, so that's a +2, strength of 7, so that's a 9 versus your armor of
3.
that's a margin of success of 6. And I guess you don't have reinforced?
I do, actually.
On sabers?
I do. I am reinforced 1.
Really?
Takes it to a 5, and I take 2 points
2
of damage.
points of damage, and your vehicle's no pilot check. Sabers are reinforced. Glad I asked. You are
reinforced 1.
no longer double time? You're not double time? These guys?
He uses his double time.
Those guys are all double time? Just making sure my tokens are allocated correctly. You are not double time anymore. You're not double time. That whole squad's double time. You can never double time. Done.
Okay?
All right.
All right. So, new turn.
New turn.
So,
What color is that?
You get to move first.
What color is that? That makes no sense whatsoever. Explain that color to me.
I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to activate my attack squad.
Okay.
Let me see. That would be these 4 guys back here. I'm going to move and shoot with the fullback. I'm going to move and how many points are they?
They are.
How many damage tracks are they?
6 5s. No, I'm sorry. 5. Yeah, 5.
Target lock will give me a +1 if I can get in 4. That would activate a 18. There, that's not close enough. I guess I'll need the target lock. Keep concentrating. Okay, so this guy's gonna he's gonna move and target lock the same saber.
Okay.
This guy's gonna move and shoot the saber. Think about that for a second. So from this position right here, I'm not asking if I have line of sight because I don't know where I am yet, but I mean the line of sight has to be, so I'm wondering, this guy's got to be within an inch of this thing to get cover from a shot coming from this angle, right? Looks like he's pretty close. He might have it. And I'll probably miss with 1. I'll just put, he's only targeting that guy with his shots. These 2 guys are just gonna, this guy's gonna pop up and try and shoot the duelist. Okay. Nah, you're outside 24. I forget. He's got a PBG. There's no way he can hit. So he's just going to go into cover there. He's basically, I guess he could smoke. Does that stack with the hard cover?
Do I? Yes.
Smoke?
Yes, smoke stacks.
Okay, so I'd be an extra 1 harder to hit. All right. And so then this guy's going to maneuver. He's going to maneuver up to, I guess he has to be there. Let me think. Yeah, that'll just expose him to. This is 1 solid elevation 3 thingy right here.
Do what now?
This is 1 solid elevation. From here to here is one piece.
And
okay.
another 5.
Yeah.
5.
Kind of makes sense. You don't have any indirect fire? He's going to come around. What am I going to do here? Wish this was a little bit bigger hill. It would be a lot more useful. So I guess for now he's just going to move up here. Sorry. And he's going to pop smoke as well.
Okay.
So now I can go ahead and activate these guys.
Yep.
So this guy's going to move. He said he was going to move and try to lock that fella. I want to. I guess I just really want to be here so I can try and claim cover. Try to lock that guy, and now the fullback is going to turn this direction, move, and try and shoot that. Within 1 inch of that.
Okay.
It's a
Plus one for your cover.
I only moved 9, so I'm going to spend my last point of movement to turn. So I'm facing the side of the board just a little more cleanly, and then I'm going to shoot that guy. Okay. The range
should be you should need 5. It's just good. You moved it up a range.
Yeah. So, but I need to work through it. So the range was 19. That's in the medium bracket, which is a 7. Wizzo and targeting computer drops it down to a 5. You have no cover, you haven't moved, no double time, plenty of 5s.
Yep.
Let me work through this.
Okay.
So this is a miss, no ammo check. That's a hit, and because I blaster 2, I get to add another die. So I got a total of 13. I needed a 5. That's plus 8 to my strength of 7. So that is a 15 versus your armor of
3 or whatever it is.
Is it? This is not the same activation I shot you in, so it's down a little bit. Didn't I do a damage to you?
Yeah, but I don't know if it went to a 2 or not. It's not going to change the damage fact.
Okay.
No, it's still armor 3.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, I'm armor 2, but
Okay.
it doesn't change the damage fact. But you do get a critical roll. So.
See, I need to work through all this. So
okay.
So I have a total of 15. You have an armor of 2, which is a net result of 13. Reinforced 1 down to 12. So that's going to be combat damage. That's going to be 3 damage points and a critical hit.
Yep.
So I roll on the, where's the critical hit?
Right underneath it.
Oh, yeah. So I roll 2 dice for that?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Got an 11. Targeting system destroyed. No combat actions allowed. And you take 3 damage tracks.
Yes.
Is that enough to, that doesn't kill him? He's 6 DT?
He's 5.
5.
Yeah, so the 6 point will kill him.
Okay. All right. Do we have any questions? No, they're just throwing grenades at each other. That's all right. So that's it for that squad.
Tries making other noises.
Stepping on something? Ouch.
Good thing I got thick soles.
Hmm.
All right, next up.
Next card.
Would be me.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so John, it's about 1:15, so maybe,
Yeah.
what do you think? Finish this round and then be done? And for Chris, do you think we'll get that far?
I think we might be able to get one more turn.
Okay.
We're moving through pretty quick. Okay, so I need to move somebody.
Yep. You got that giant specialist squad. Maybe you should move
I
it.
got the big specialist squad. I got the attack. I got the recon.
That guy has NASCAR roots. His foot is on the pedal. He doesn't care. That's all he's done is double move and go first.
No.
He's currently rubbing up against the template because he's racing.
We are racing.
If you're not rubbing, you're not racing. Some rockets. Kruger wants rockets. All right.
Yeah, no rockets today. So.
I will. We are playing again tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I'll make sure I bring some rockets tomorrow for you, just for you, Kruger. I need to hit these guys with some hat coat. They're just not. They're a little bit too shiny.
But and these guys, they don't have double time.
No, they do not.
Okay.
They're smoked, so they are a little bit harder to hit.
Right.
Probably shouldn't have pushed that guy forward quite. That's okay. I have a strategy.
I know. Yeah. Decisions. All right, I'm gonna move my attack squad. So
What are you doing?
I'm trying to see where line of sight's gonna go.
Because it looks a lot like you're measuring.
Yeah, whatever. Bang. Got kind of a weird heel there. Well, he is the uplight is going to remain stationary.
Okay.
He is going to target lock.
The rightmost gauntlet?
Yes, the gauntlet there.
Okay.
The duelist is going to go on opportunity fire.
Okay. What is that? Opportunity fire? Is there a word for that?
I mean Overwatch.
Overwatch. That's what I was trying to get you to say.
And both Warhawks.
And both what?
Both Warhawks are going on to Overwatch.
Okay, that's fine. So Krugerrand's nephew asked if calves can climb and walk on top of the dropship.
That would be a negative.
All right.
All right, next card.
Me. Okay. I am going to activate my last squad, my recon squad.
Okay. I'm going to kick your card.
Sure, go ahead. I'll kick that one.
Okay.
I'll kick that one. Now my recon drone is
And your
gone.
recon drone. Okay.
Good. All right. So, going to activate the recon squad. We're going to come out and try and maul these sabers before they hook up with their buddies. Cobra's going to stand still. He's going to, I don't know, that's really close. He's going to I think so. He's going to activate APA1 and he's going to target lock. Waste my target lock on this guy. Maybe I can kill him, but maybe not. I hope I can get rid of that guy without a target lock, and I'm going to target lock this guy.
Okay.
Okay. So APA1 and target lock. This King Cobra is going to do his best to make sure that we kill the. I'm going to get a couple. He's going to move and target the wounded saber,
Okay.
who are surprisingly tough. Then fullback is going to run and gun, and he's going to attempt to target the target lock guy.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see how that works. So he activates, does his electronic suite package. Did I don't think I said what this guy was going to do. I think I skipped him.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, okay, so let me declare him. So he's got to move around that guy. So I don't think he can get anywhere for a clear shot. He's going to move and use his ECM2 to jam target lock.
Yeah, recon wars are a thing.
All right, so did you catch that he's going to move and use his ECM2 to jam target lock?
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to start with him. He does his electronic warfare thing. I'm going to activate this guy. One targeting that guy. I get a and you said all of his weapons are basically forward arc.
180
Yeah,
degrees.
okay. So he's going to take his. Oh, that's it. Return.
Now the other one was the one you hadn't done any declared.
Right. So he's going to move an ECM2.
Okay.
This guy's moving and
so
shooting.
You're actually doing your thing.
Yeah, I'm starting the turn.
Yeah.
So this guy does stand still and uses his 2 electronic suites.
Right.
So this guy is going to move and shoot that guy.
Okay.
So he's taking his free turn. I'm hoping to qualify for double time. He's going to move 10 inches. Going to put him. He ignores all this uphill stuff, right?
Yep.
That puts him right there. Oh,
But facing this way.
That's right, facing this way. But I think I've still got the 180. What you think?
Well, if you move straight forward.
Okay. Sure. That's right through my shoulders, right there. Does that look good to you or not? Would you like the laser?
Well, shoulder to shoulder is going to come out this way.
Let's get some
Yeah,
laser.
get the laser.
Good. Yeah, you might be right. All right. So that's a miss. All right, so let's back up to see how I would go about avoiding that in the past.
Okay.
Can I take line of sight checks along my movement path? Could I have paused here and said, okay, do I have line of sight here?
You can.
Because I didn't have to move the full distance, right?
Right.
And to be honest with you, I mean, what it is, I turn to be parallel with this thing. That's probably pretty accurate. I think I would be canted a little bit forward. But so for future reference, could I have stopped here, hypothetically, not stopped, but said, okay, at this point in time, are you in my line of sight? At this point in time, are you in my line of sight? So I would have stopped and not gotten to the point where I can't shoot.
You cannot measure it. You have to. That would be a measure.
So you're not allowed to determine line of sight until you stop.
By line of sight, by visual, okay. But as far as if you were actually getting a string out, or in this case, the laser light, so that's where you can use your hand or a straight edge or like that, as long as you're not actually putting it down on the board.
So I could have done this.
No.
What was that thing you did a minute ago?
I did like this.
Okay, so I could have done this.
Yes, I mean it's I'm just kind of. All right. So usually I use my hand. But
so this guy has no shot. This guy, but he still does qualify for double time. This guy is. I'm not going to have any shots, so I'll just have him move. But a total of what did I say? I could move potentially a total of 16.
Well, if you're running at him, you have to go all 16.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a shot anymore because this guy blocks line of sight to that guy. So I've already given. There's no shot to be had because I declared this guy as a target. So I can move as much as I want now because I've already lost my shot.
Right.
Right. So I could stop here if I chose to. And I've lost my shot anyway.
Right, and then you're done.
Right, that's fine. Question is, where do I really want to be? I think from this perspective, I will choose to be here. And then, again, I've lost my running gun, so I will turn. And then this guy moves and does ECM2. It just pop over to here. Nobody has double time here except for that guy. And we'll get to that in a minute. All right, so I'm done.
Okay. So I have my Gladiator now and my Recon left. My Gladiator is just going to do a move. He is going to move. He is going to do a double move.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn one. I'm going to use my other 7 points back up 3.5 inches. First move.
Okay.
Second move, I am going to turn my 1 free one, spin one, then come forward.
Okay.
All right. Sabers with 5 has a 6. All right. The tanks are going to they're going to just do these the 5 undamaged ones are going to double move.
Okay.
And then the damaged one is going to move and activate his ECM.
Okay.
So
What mode of ECM is he using?
well, it's target lock block.
Okay. You can also jam.
Okay, so turn are free, and then we are going to him. Four, 5, turn, him, 3, 4, turn, 8, 9, him, 10, turn, 5, 6, 7, 10, turn, 10, 8, 9, 10, 5, 8, 9, 10. And this should put him in. Okay.
Okay.
Where are we at?
130.
We'll just go through what we can get through,
Sure.
and
Works for me.
because we've got still 30 minutes. All right. That's the only bad thing about these, especially when they're new.
Yeah.
They're quick.
Okay.
That's why the stuff is so easy to move. Just like touching it. And you guess I need to start putting texture on the bottom of it.
Red. Want to recon that?
No. I'll let you go.
Time. These 4 guys and I keep a little bit mixed. I'm going to activate my recon. What?
Okay.
Guy is this guy. Move and target that guy.
Okay.
This pullback. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the proper way to play the game.
Okay.
I'm trying to puzzle out lines of sight. Obviously, I haven't moved anybody. At what point in time is it legal for me to do this to the table?
After you declare.
After I've declared everything. But before I move. But before I move.
Well, you have to complete your move.
So you said declare.
Well, I meant, I'm sorry.
So I can't.
You have to complete your actions before you start measuring. Yes. And the only is because you said you wanted to play
Yeah. No.
tournament style or whatever. If
and I'm just trying to
deal,
make sure I understand what's going on. Because if I learned the hard way, then I know all the rules and I can help people learn when I teach them. We'll play it this way, but if you're in a tournament, you've got
because that's carryover from beforehand,
okay.
Stuff like that. So.
He's going to move here. He's going to move and shoot that guy.
Okay.
This guy is going to move. Let me see. You want to give assault 2? I think he has assault 2. Yes, so this guy is going to. I have to go around this thing, right? I can't go over it. Minute 10. This guy is just gonna he's gonna move and shoot this straggler saber. The king cobra is going to also move and shoot the straggling saber. The cobra is going to move and target lock the straggling saber. By which one I mean that one right there. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, other than you can't target lock. The is on.
So
you're within. I mean, if you're within 24 inches of me.
When I kill this guy, his ECM stays.
Because my damage doesn't go into effect till the end of the activate. At the end of your.
That's fine. So you feel like currently you feel like that's less than 24, probably. Yeah. So how do I get out from underneath this? Can I jam it, or is that something you have to do ahead of time?
No, you can try. You can declare a jam to try to knock it off right now. Okay.
And then we just roll it like opposed.
It's opposed, and I get a +1, and you get a +1 or 2, whatever.
Actually, I'm not sure he has ECM. Can he
use
APA to do the same thing? Cobra has APA, yeah. So it would just be
let me double check. Let me make sure that that was another thing.
As opposed roll to bypass enemy ECM allows the use of term upgraded.
I don't think you can jam, but you can roll to activate your APA.
So there are really three things.
Yeah, because ECM can only jam.
ECM jams.
Yeah.
Jams target lock. And
or can stop your
or
your
can
APA,
make the opposed roll,
right?
Right? And APA can do the same thing.
It can give you your plus,
right?
But if you're in my ECM,
right?
Okay, then we have to make the roll, and if you win the roll, then your APA kicks in. Okay. I'm not jamming your ECM.
My APA.
Or your APA.
Okay.
Yep.
So if I want to try and take down your ECM bubble, I can do that with ECM.
Yes.
But not with APA.
No,
but APA might be able to get past. But
you can supersede it and not turn mine off.
If I make the roll.
Right, if you make the roll.
I see. All right, there's a lot of new
stuff.
Yeah,
because that's what we've changed in the router to make them a little more unique. Is APA gives you the pluses, ECM takes them away.
Okay, so in that case, what I'm gonna change my actions. I'm going to
Our turns are taking a little longer because we are both very deep thinkers.
Yeah, very new at this. Well, I mean, I've played this.
No, I know.
There's some models down here I've never played.
I know.
Okay.
Just giving everybody the heads up.
And all right, so
because I did it horribly last turn.
All right, so instead what I'm going to do is we're going to move him here to engage him. He's going to move out to try and shoot the last saber.
Okay.
The King Cobra is going to move up and attempt to jam. Is that the right word? What's the word for countering your ECM?
With ECM?
Yeah.
Jam.
So I'm going to move up and try and jam your
You're going
ECM.
to turn my ECM on.
I'm going to try.
Yes.
Okay. And so then the idea is that the Cobra is then going to move and target lock, assuming the CCM works, target lock the straggling saber.
Okay.
So the simultaneity of that is okay?
Well, we make the roll.
Assuming I'm successful, then the target lock can go through.
Correct.
And if I fail, the target lock won't go through.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So
Everybody at all one time, we're all 8 guys are sitting with the finger on the button. Bam, go.
They're basically playing, playing some sort of video game.
F5.
All right. So is there I don't need to do any of this in any particular order other than I need to know if the target lock works.
Probably ought to do this.
So we should do the roll first?
Okay.
All right. So
Since
you just want to do that now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have ECM2.
Yep.
I get +2 to my roll?
Yep.
It's just a high die roller wins?
High roll, it's an opposed roll.
Okay.
I have a 13.
You win.
What a time to roll double sixes. Exactly.
It's just
F you dice. F you dice.
All right. So then I'm going to go ahead and move this guy. I'm going to come out around there for 2. Take his free turn. He's going to basically just move up here and take a good hiding position there. He tries to target lock the guy and fails.
Here's a lot of static.
Yeah, basically. So this guy, let's go over here now. You're not going to have double time. He's going to advance to right here, and then basically he's going to come here. I think I have line of sight of that.
Yeah, because the point's going to come right over here, like.
All right. Here.
And the only way you can lose line of sight coming over there is if you were down on the here and it caught that corner.
I'm thinking of this shadow of this piece of terrain there.
Because that edge is all the way up here, so it's.
Then I'm going to put my my 4 LBGs into that guy.
Okay.
I get a bonus for shooting in the rear?
You do. +1.
So I guess I should check the range.
Yep. You do then.
Like the 19, which is just in medium. Doesn't so the long range thing, I forget what it's called.
No, it doesn't affect.
Does not affect. I'm just trying to make sure I learn its name. Improved range. Okay, so I need a 7 to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
What's the bonus for shooting in the rear?
1.
So now I need a 6. You didn't double time, but you did move.
I did.
Okay, so down to a 6. I have TC2, but that doesn't matter because I don't have a target lock. So down to a 6. I've got 4 shots at a 6. I don't think I'll roll these individually.
He's dead.
Okay, I just needed to do 1 point.
Yeah. Dun dun dun.
Now vehicles don't leave obstacles, do they? It's only
what?
cabs that leave obstacles.
No, there's still it's rubble.
So this is rough terrain now?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought only cabs
rough
left.
rubble.
I thought only cabs left that.
Possible.
Who knows? All right, so this guy's just moving, so he takes his free turn to clear the edge of that thing right there. Walk here, a total of.
James would like that.
James would like what?
He said, "Does the winner walk away with the drop ship?"
That would be great. Total of 6. I'm going to advance 4 there. And see if I have line of sight to that. Like I do.
Yeah.
Help me out. 30. That's long range for the max. No target lock. But he does have Wizzo. 2 shots at 7. Did you double time? 2 shots at a 7. 1 hit at a +2. That's a total of 9 versus your armor of 3. So that's a 6 down to a 5 because you have reinforced 1.
Correct.
That is boss. 5, 2 damage points. No pilot check because you're. I got the last King Cobra to move. One who failed to do the jamming. 10 inches of movement. It's fair to be out in the middle of that. Still qualify for double time. Potentially. Have to move kind of straight this direction, probably. Any other place I could take a straight move of 10 inches. Can't go over cover. I feel like that's a relatively good thing to do, so I'll take my free turn and I'm going to move 10 inches. There. Basically what the other guy did a minute ago. And as I believe.
All right.
Green.
Green.
Are the Overwatch rules errated? Should I look them up in the errata? Or?
No, I think there might be a couple of clarifications in there. I guess we can go ahead and do the CAV-CON squad. Those are all gone. Nice. The movement of 2 is down 5. Take that back. I need to do your text. Okay. Attack squad's going. The hoplite is target locking this guy here.
Okay.
And no. He's target locking the front tank.
Okay.
And that'll be his arm. The duelist is going to move, attack him.
Dave, you're 100% correct. This is my 3rd or 4th try, and I haven't gotten it yet.
And he's going to go 2. Move.
Turn.
4 and 5. Okay. Warhawks are going to move and shoot at the front tank, hopefully.
Okay.
Over enough. He is going to turn kind of off kilt. Left foot is where he's. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. And same thing from 4. 4. 3, 4. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Time for some damage.
The duelist is going to salvo fire at the front tank.
Let me mark them for you. Let me find a way to describe. I didn't actually put numbers on them or anything. This is going to be double track.
I think I clear the light woods. Do you agree?
Hold on one second.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that guy does. Here. Absolutely.
All right, so we are at medium range.
Okay. I have smoke.
You have your smoke. So medium range is a base of 7, correct? I have a target computer, which makes it down to a 6, which goes back to a 7 because of the smoke.
Okay.
And then so I'm rolling against a 7 with a +5.
Okay.
Or a 2. Just say I'm rolling against a 2.
However you want to manage.
Okay. Is an 8. God forbid I couldn't roll a freaking 9 right. So I'm 6 over.
9 would be critical for you. You don't have blaster 2.
Oh, that's right.
You did that yesterday too.
I know. I guess okay.
8 minutes for Mr. Lemming. So let's finish your attack score.
So I'm 6 over.
Okay.
So I have a 10.
And I have an armor of 8, so 1 point of damage.
Yep. Okay, so Warhawks are firing dual heavy max and dual guided missiles. How
are you firing the guided missiles?
With tag, and he's target locked anyway. But...
Target lock, yes. Tag, no. I'm smoked.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Yes, but yes, the target lock is
good enough
for the ST. That's going to be all long range shots.
Okay.
So my base is going to be an 8.
Okay.
We're going to have different numbers, so I'm going to leave it. So, all right, so it's a base of 8. Whistle and target computer take it down to a 6.
Okay.
This is going to make it back to a 7.
Who's firing?
This one here, right here.
Doesn't he count the woods he's shooting?
That's what I'm getting ready. I'm
okay.
getting to the numbers.
Sorry.
All right. So back is an 8, 6 because of Wizzo and targeting lock. 7 for the woods, 8 for the woods, 9 for the woods, or 9 for the smoke.
Center to center, you go through the terrain, right?
If you're within 1 inch of that crossing there.
Okay.
So, you are, then there is no line of sight.
Yeah, easily.
Okay.
Okay. So that guy can't see me.
Okay. So, this guy can.
Let's make sure you don't go through the duelist.
I'm not gonna.
Looks like you're clear,
Yeah.
but it was worth measuring.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So long range again. So I'm going with 8s.
Okay.
7, 6.
Yeah.
7, 8.
I don't think you go through this one, but you go through the
I
one
go
you're
through
in.
this one.
Yeah.
No, I pointed that
yeah,
one.
Yeah,
I
you pointed
this
at that one.
Yeah.
So basically 8s.
Yes.
Okay.
All
Ready
right.
for some damage.
Both max.
Okay.
That's a crit.
Okay.
That's a miss.
Okay.
So 14.
Okay.
That's 6 over. So 6 plus
7.
7. Yeah, it's 13.
I have an armor of 8, so that's 5.
Yep.
Gauntlets
Just the
are
damage.
not. They do have reinforced 1.
Okay.
That's down from 5 down to 4.
Yep. So it only is 1 point.
1 point of damage, and obviously I don't take fire.
Guided missiles are both 8s as well. That's a miss. But I am not jammed.
Out of ammo in that case.
Sorry.
All right. You got anybody?
Okay.
You got the one guy left to activate?
I've got the
But
tanks.
I've got a whole squad.
I've got the
yeah.
tanks and the
I forgot.
gladiator.
We changed rounds. I was thinking. All right, so we might as well just stop there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to flip the card so we know who's going? That way we don't forget. We can just flip that card and put it on top of the drop ship. That way we'll know what's going on. So it's going to be you, unless I read.
Unless you can. Okay.
And I'm
So,
not.
what we need to do right quick is we've got to do a drawing for this last hour
Okay.
while we were playing. And then we are getting ready to switch over to Chris for the next 2 hours for his sculpting show. So, Chris, you ready to go? Monitors, so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so you're by the
You mean to remove
speaker, you
yeah.
can hear us. You want to tell them that this is going to be for a free faction set of paint, their
Okay.
choice.
Okay, so the giveaway we're about to do is for a set of faction paints, CAV factions, your choice as to which one you get. Hashtag paint, hashtag paint. Throw it in chat to win a free set of faction paints of your choice.
We go another minute here for anybody. Yeah, we'll catch it up. One for paint. So you can
Yeah, you don't have the mic.
keep talking
All right, about another minute here. Get your hashtag paint in to get entered in the drawing for a free set of faction paints of your choice. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you want. You can do it free with your Amazon Prime account. Just link it to your Twitch account, and you get a free subscription you can use every month. You have to redo it every month. They don't roll over, so next month you would have to come back in and redo the subscription. Or if you feel like it, you subscribe for a monthly fee. At least follow. Come and join John, learn about CAV, help him promote the game, get the news out there, make some noise. You can find us on Facebook at CAV-HQ is the Facebook group. Go over there and request to join. You'll get approved right away, and you can jump in there and see people's painted calves, their ideas about what their forces, just general chit chat. It's a good place.
and just so that they explain and with the drawing, feed will in for a second, and then Chris will take over.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back in an hour or so to do the drawing.
Okay.
Then he'll be here for 2 hours.
So John asked me to remind you that what's going to happen here in just a few minutes after the drawing. The feed's going to pause or glitch or whatever you want to call it while we switch over to the sculptor, Chris, who's going to, I think he's going to show off a brand new model.
He's starting from scratch.
He's starting from scratch on a model I don't know what it is. John said he didn't know what it is. So hang on and you can watch Chris work on a brand new CAV model. Then we'll come back in about an hour, do another drawing. And then when Chris is done around 4, we'll come back and finish this game. And hang out with you some more. Have a good time. We might do some painting after that, I think.
Cthulhu is the lucky winner again.
Cthulhu, double trouble winner.
Wins the paint. So you need to do exclamation point and claim.
Yeah, exclamation point claim to get your prize awarded to you. And you gotta post up in chat what faction you want, or if you need a few minutes to think about
we'll
it.
get a hold of them.
All right, we'll just whisper to you. We'll send you a Twitch message asking you what faction you want. But it probably ought to be Templars.
All right, so here we're going to switch over to Chris.